Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures, little changed once again this morning, coming off a record-setting performance yesterday for the S&P 500. It was up about 0.5% when all was said and done to a closing record high back above that 42.39 yesterday. So we are looking at further record high potential here today. Data showed consumer prices in May on a year-over-year basis rose more than expected yesterday. Investors kind of shrugged that off, though, and went back to normal as far as the market is concerned. Individually, travel stocks in focus this morning. We're watching shares of the cruise operators. A couple of Royal Caribbean passengers testing positive for COVID-19 on one of the first cruise ships to resume operations out of North America. And, of course, we'll have a look at the squeeze stocks again this morning. AMC, GME trying to bounce after big sell-offs that we saw yesterday. It's Friday, June 11th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. As mentioned, trying to get back into positive territory here once again for all three U.S. indexes at this point, relatively unchanged. The TSX here in Toronto, 0.3 to the upside at this point. Bitcoin bouncing back a little bit there, 2% to the upside. We saw Ethereum leading yesterday. It is basically flat to start a Friday morning. Good morning, guys. It is Friday, as mentioned. We have a number of things to get through at this point. Hi. If you want, Lucas, we could bring in Neil and Sean. We'll get going. It is going to be an interesting morning. We have a number of things to talk about as we head towards the weekend here and the end of the week. It's been a busy week for the... Hey, there they are. Hey, guys. It's Friday. It's fine. We've had a number of these squeeze stocks to talk about all week long. We saw both AMC and GME with big sell-offs yesterday. I mean, 30% at one point for GME to the downside. Both here trying to bounce in the pre-market, guys.
Hey, man, Clover's trying to bounce too. No, a lot of the meme names trying to bounce. It was crazy to the downside yesterday. I know you guys saw all of that action. It's Friday. We got a job. Hopefully we got some money. We got something we got to do here, guys. And that's going to be trading to round out what was a fantastic week. Of course, some of the regular names we're going to look at today, and there's some earnings because Chewy, Dave & Buster's, might be something there, but Chewy as well had earnings, and should be interesting. I mean, Clover already catching a bit of a bid off of 14. It's not 16, but it's 14. So I'm into that one already. There's a small cap on our list at PGen that I'm also into the South Side trade. I know a couple of you guys were looking at that name as well. So should be a good one. Let's finish this week off just right. And let's not forget some of the bigger names in the overall market. Speaking of which, if you do look at the futures, change your futures contract over. It is the U contract you want to look at now. Should do more volume today. So Arun reminded me. So that's usually where I get my reminder from because he's the futures guy, Sean.
Yeah. Also, we were doing that on the show before. It's HMUZ. So right now we're into the U contract. So that'll flip over. Then we'll watch to see it trade through all summer. And then we'll switch it back over in September again. But yeah, look, another record day here, hopefully, again, for the NASDAQ and the, I guess it's the S&P that's at the all-time high. You know, they tried to surprise us with the inflation, the CPI yesterday. Obviously, that didn't work out well for them. We saw what happened. The market just took off. And we had a great long into yesterday's Qs off that number. So today, nothing to happen early. But look, this should be exciting. The only problem is the imbalance locator right now isn't showing too much on here. I mean, we just put CCL back on our sticky notes. So that's on there for today. AMC is there as well. And other than that, man, Cleveland Cliffs, you know, another name to watch out for. And then IBM's been absolutely on fire as well. And a little secret name that we've really left alone. And I was just looking at it now because it's a pretty big holding of mine. You guys know it. And it's Mr. Softy today up to 258. Like, this was just been a quiet assassin. Like, this was 253 yesterday, closes 258. And then, I mean, it's just inching up. Like, it's riding this 50 period nicely. Upside, Microsoft about to break out to all-time highs as well.
Yeah, it's definitely leading as far as some of the bigger tech names over the past couple of days. Microsoft looking very good. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, Brandon, and hi guys, happy Friday everyone. Let's finish this week in a positive territory and with 4,000 likes. So make sure you like this video and let's get it started, Brandon.
A good way to get it started, yeah, if you're joining us for the first time. Hit the like, guys, subscribe as well, join us every day. Let's have a look at the top 10, we haven't done this for a while, top 10 traders list here at Day Trade the World from yesterday. All kinds of opportunities coming out of Canada on here. Number one, Chicago, the futures there, New York as well. Possibly AMC or GameStop. 120,000. Chicago, some futures action here. Number two as well. NASDAQ, New York, NYMEX. 64,000. So lots of people in the five-figure club all the way down to number 8 there. Top 10 traders here at Day Trade the World. We show you that simply to highlight the opportunities that exist in this market going forward. Let's talk a little bit about what to expect coming up today. It is Friday, obviously, end of the week. It's options expiration, which is going to mean that a lot of these stocks could be active once again this morning. As we mentioned, there seems to be, the shift from day to day to day as far as where the volume is in the pre-market this morning. We're seeing a lot of these very inactive versus what they have done over the past couple of days. And I'm speaking of the Clover Health, the AMCs. We also had that GEO member from a couple of days ago, guys, barely doing anything this morning.
Yeah.
To be honest, I quickly forgot about that GEO. Like, we traded it. It was actually a trade of the day. It was hot for a day, and then we come back, and it's like, okay, back to AMC and GameStop and Clover Health. GameStop, and you guys in the afternoon show, we were talking about this one. Like, it was a short pretty much all day long, but it didn't quite get to 200. It was that little 210. I sort of was fighting this one to the long side for some scalp wins, but it does now hold above like 225, 227, which was this top. You see right in the aftermarket, and that's basically been support here. Now, as you mentioned, Brennan, and rightfully so, we've seen this before. Some of these squeeze play, not as much volatility at times on that options expiration day. So, I think that's going to make it difficult to see some kind of like an outsized break, which, I mean, when you make a floor like this on GameStop, you might be thinking, okay, 240 break. We know that 280 is going to be a level to the upside. So you start thinking about like that 250, or more importantly, this 260 was probably a bigger level on the way down. So I'm not sure we get through 2 or 3 of those in GameStop today, but it does feel like it's made a bit of a floor. Of course, 200 is a level worth defending. I think before that, it's probably going to be like a 225 for me. So I'm coming in possibly anticipating some smaller ranges. Like, I don't think GameStop's doing an $80 move open to the bottom. That could be wrong, but I'm going to guess that it's probably a third of that in terms of volatility, maybe half at best. So it's going to go with that type of approach, and maybe not have as big expectations in terms of how far this pullback could come. Now, Clover, on the other hand, I just feel like might have a little more room to the upside. I am already so long in front of that one at 1470, had a bit of a level.
Yeah, I mean, from one stock to another, GameStop to AMC here, good hold. We talked about that yesterday. Remember, we talked about a swing play. Was also Wendy's I liked as a swing play. We'll look at that, how that's going. I should put that on the sticky note, and I didn't. Okay, so AMC, I'll talk about AMC quickly here, and then I want to get to a poll that I just put up. 44, so this is a level here for AMC that I'm going to try to look at. We held 44 yesterday. This was very, very important. We talked about that. Into the close yesterday when it was 42, 43, I said this is probably worth a hold now because we didn't break back down. This break through 40 got us out. It was the largest candle and largest volume spike all day, and we can actually look at it right here, right there. So that's that wick down to 40, through 40, and it completely stopped, man. 39.80, that was the bottom, and then it ripped back up to 45. So that's like, $6 there on 39, so a nice little 15% or so move back to the high side, and then we stopped. So I think right now we're above 45, so I think you can have a 45 hold on AMC, but I'm going to look to see. I have some bids around here 44, and then I don't want to get too invested up here, because if we do retest these levels, I want to have enough ammunition to load up on the low side. That's what killed me the last couple days, not the last couple days, it was the 2 days ago, was that right here. We got too excited about these 50 levels, and then when it broke, we had to get out, and we didn't have enough ammunition to reload there at 48. We did, but we just didn't make enough back on the backside. So that's that one. So I like AMC. And then also, of course, I can't put out the sticky note and not mention this 40 level again. So let's wait to see what happens at 40 if it gets down there. For some reason, I don't think so today. I like your call there about the options. We got to watch out for some options expiration. So this is kind of fun. And the reason why I'm bringing this up to our attention right now is, what is your favorite summertime drink? So I went with non-alcoholic versions. Maybe next time we'll do alcoholic, but iced tea, not that you can put alcohol in any of these. I guess you could put it in coffee.
All of them.
All of these are fine. But look, I've never had a poll that's this close, like 30, 28, 26, and then 17. I'm excited to see what some of the comments are, what some of these. Yeah, here we go. Okay, Phil. Yeah, I see what you're doing. It's already starting with the booze. So Kettle One Martini, perfect, man. There's lots here. Sweet iced tea and lemonade. Right, the Arnold Palmer. That's like my kid's favorite drink. I was struggling what to put here as number 3, but I think we got it with iced tea. So put your votes in, man. We're going to see who wins this at the end of the show. But right now it looks like it's cruising with an iced tea. What would you guys choose?
Oh, I was literally about to. I was gonna go put one in response, but I'll just go. A good mojito is very, very good for the summer, so I'll put that in as a summer drink. I was gonna actually put it in.
But no alcohol. Just choose one.
I can't say alcohol. What?
Well, no, but you could. I didn't say that. But what would you choose from the 3 that are tied? Iced tea, lemonade, and iced coffee.
I mean, from there, look, I'm probably going to end up going with the iced coffee because it's a bunch of coffee, but lemonade is a cool, refreshing drink.
Yeah, I'd be a lemonade guy. Brendo?
I'm an iced tea guy.
Oh, my God, see?
That's close, though. I like lemonade, too.
You see what I'm saying? So all 3 of us choose a different one. So hence the poll. Anyways, guys, let's have some fun.
Good call. Yes, good start to Friday. Quickly here, before we bring in Mark Roberts, this Novin Incorporated, NOVN, just popping up on volume here again. You can see more volume coming in at day highs here. There was a study they released. It was in regards to a skin infection gel that met their end goal for their study. So NOVN on watch here. Let's bring in Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategy, get his take on what is to come for Friday. It's been a busy week. Good to see you, Mark. First of all, welcome to Friday. Let's get a little bit of a reaction, first off, from the number we got yesterday, that 5% on the year-over-year basis for May, the highest it's been since 2008.
Yeah, you're talking about inflation numbers.
CPI for May.
Yeah. So what's happening is all of this is expected. It's a bit frightening. Nobody wants to effectively state that this is anything but transitory. I'm not sure I agree with it, but with the 10-year trading at a 1.45 yield, the indicators tell us it's transitory. The second that these 10-year bond yields start to climb, I jump to the ship that it now matters. I think what's going to happen is the conversation the Fed's going to have in the June meeting, I think it's the 16th, will be key. But they probably don't have anything to concern us with until maybe the August-September meeting, and then the tapering begins early next year.
It's going to be interesting to see how that does play out over the coming weeks. I want to talk about this Michigan sentiment number coming up at 10 o'clock as well. As you stated in your note this morning, another kind of key metric that is watched as far as inflation is concerned. Is this going to be a market mover today?
If it's not super hot, it won't matter. If it's super hot, the markets will react immediately. What I found kind of interesting, which has been reported, milk is up almost 5% this year, bacon 13%, orange juice 21%, and supplies are much, much tighter. Even gourmet coffee drinks are up 8% this year. It's hitting the consumer's pocketbook.
It's interesting you say that. I actually was surprised last weekend. I bought a package of bacon at our local grocery store. It was $8.99. Which I thought was astronomically high. So let's talk about some exactly. Let's talk about some individual stocks here. We have, these travel names back on watch. Give us your take on this cruise line story this morning. I think kind of to be expected, but we'll see what happens over the coming days here.
I don't know anybody who's ready to get on a cruise ship, so I'm going to go with yes, things are improving. Yes, the metrics seem better, and future cruise bookings are very strong. Short term, I'm nervous.
Yeah, they are obviously down in the pre-market here, all three of them, but not a lot of volume at this point. Biogen has had a pretty impressive week, first off, after that announcement earlier in the week. It took, though, a couple of days to kind of really get going back, in the positive direction. We're higher here again for Biogen. Does this continue?
It probably does in the short term. It was upgraded today, but what was a little troubling was that the third FDA advisory member quit over this passage of the Alzheimer. So I'm a little nervous, but the verdict is still out, and traders want to own it in front of more positive news, which potentially is there. So you can't fight the tape.
From a weekly standpoint, there's been so much attention on these retail-focused stocks this week and these impressive moves that we've seen in that group. How have you approached handling some of these stocks and really, the lack of attention or the lack of movement, trading opportunities elsewhere?
Personally, I haven't been overly involved in the Gap, the Nordstrom, the Burlington coats. I watched them go up. I'm a little frustrated that I didn't jump on board, but you just can't dance with all the girls at the party.
What? You can't?
What?
You can't? What? What was that? You can't? Mark, a quick one. Let's have some fun here. I don't know if you just saw the poll that we had up and if you could see our screen, but this is, you got to kind of try to break a tie here. What is your favorite summertime drink we have on here? We have iced tea. Looks like iced tea is stretching away from iced coffee here, but iced tea, lemonade, iced coffee, or other, and we're going to choose non-alcoholic today. So which one of these three or other would you select if so choosing?
Well, here, I'll frustrate you more.
Oh, God.
My favorite drink is lemonade and cranberry juice.
Oh, okay. We had some. Is there a special name for that? Because we know that it's the Arnold Palmer with the iced tea and lemonade. I've actually never even heard of iced tea and cran. Or you said iced tea and cran or lemonade and cran?
Lemonade and cran.
Oh, wow. Good one. And put a little vodka in there, a little gin in there every once in a while? That sounds like fun. Okay,
Personally, bourbon.
Yes. There we go. Okay. This is why he is the stock father. So what's up to stock father one more time? He wins again. Man, Mark is always winning. Okay. Microsoft right now is a name that I've talked about just a little bit on the show today. And we've kind of left it from a day trade because it hasn't been, super, super exciting. But what about this major cap tech stock now as the NASDAQ is getting close to all-time highs? But the Microsoft is basically at all-time highs of 263, 263.50. I don't know if we see that today. It hasn't had big moves, but it's been very, very consistent. It held some of these bottoms, 230, 240, unlike its friend Apple. Microsoft right now looking to break through highs. Do you like any major, we could talk about Microsoft, or is there a major cap tech company? I prefer Google over everything, but where are you in this space?
Google is by far the best. Microsoft comes in second, and a name that I'm starting to focus on but waiting for a little bit lower is Cree, C-R-E-E. It's a fabulous name in the device area. They do lighting. They do radio frequency applications.
Okay.
And they're now getting into other, we'll call it clean tech type of operations. To me, this stock is a home run.
A home run. Okay, yeah, because we're just approaching that $100 mark now, and that makes sense that if we do break above there, then you get some momentum through the $100 spot. Okay, so Cree, so there you go. So a new name. Thank you so much for that. And then is there an opinion? We've gone back and forth. I remember when we first started the show, we talked a lot, this is a year ago or more, about Apple and, where that stock was going. And, I know there's a lot of money managers flowing in and out of, Apple or holding it. I don't know. Like, it used to be the bellwether, and as it was trading, as the market was going up, so was Apple. But look what we're hearing, like 122 to 130. Like, are you hearing anything about why this stock is sort of stuck here in the mud a bit?
I don't hear any catalysts at all.
Okay.
The only thing that I would have to say is if they really, really intend to be a player in the electric vehicle area, that's when this stock will take off. Otherwise, how many more people want to own an Apple Watch, will upgrade to another phone, buy another iPad? These things tend to go on a schedule of every 2, 4, or 5 year renewals, if you will, or upgrades.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think the only thing that's going to matter is the electric car.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I thought the catalyst could have been, I mean, it's already old now, old news, but they had that Apple credit card and they have a few different things. And now with their new iOS, they have, what are they putting in your IDs and stuff like that? They can put your driver's license electronically, but they got to get that approved, of course. And here's Google. This is one of my favorites. I also think, you know, there could be some tailwinds with Google too. Remember that they bought Fitbit? So that's going to be closing, and I guess it did close already. And I just feel that, you know, the wearables could be another spot also for Google to come through. They don't even have a watch that they can attach to the Pixel or anything like that. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a Pixel watch coming through for Google. So I think that there's something there as well. I don't know if you've heard anything on that front, what their plans are with Fitbit, but I plan to, like, with Google Maps and then all the information that Fitbit has on running and all that and health, I just think that Google is a home run, and I agree with you.
Yeah, I think Google and Apple are going at it. Apple is trying to self-destruct itself on top of Facebook. These three are basically going to be eating each other's lunches in these product designs, these wearables, anything dealing with healthcare. You're in the third, fourth inning of a game in this product mode. But I think if I had to pick two of them, I would say Apple is intending to destroy Facebook.
Apple is intending to destroy Facebook. Okay, so we're going to get some nice fights here. Okay, so those are major cap. Thanks, Mark. I mean, I love that stuff because it's a portfolio talk, and a lot of us are in these names, so I think that's great. One name that I think a lot of people have been in and that are getting a little nervous about is CCL and some of the cruise lines. And Brendan brought that up with you earlier about now COVID coming back. Apparently, you mentioned, like, who wants to go on a cruise line? I think there are people, actually, that want to go on them. I don't know what their bookings are going to be like when they finally get the okay to start launching again, but that worldwide. $29 here. This is going to be a level for me to look at here today. I just think that, you know, we've already come up. It's kind of head high here at 31. There's a couple of these shoulders, a couple of these tops here at 29. Do you have any opinion on the cruise lines? And is there a stock? Maybe it's RCL, maybe it's CCL. Do we stick with the airlines? I just think the reopen trade seems to be losing a little bit of jet fuel here, maybe, as some of these stocks come down to the south side. Any opinion on some of these traditional reopen plays?
Yeah, personally, I would rather stick to Norwegian Cruise and CLH. That has tended to be a better name. But at the end of the day, short term, these are trading vehicles. Intermediate, long term, these are definitely plays that you want in your portfolio. But it really may not be until mid-2022, early 2023 before we're completely back into a safe mode. They're going to do everything they can to make the passenger comfortable, but these outbreaks are going to scare those that are intending to jumpstart this area.
Yeah, it's definitely scary I mean, even if you're double vaccinated, I mean, there's still, I feel like there's not enough, you know, statistics or science out there to really know what variant is going to be good with what, and if there's other variants. So I think you're 100% right. Is there a level you can maybe think about picking up if you're not already in Norwegian? Are we looking at the same levels here, 25, 27, in and around here? I agree with you. I don't think this is an instant home run. I think you got to build your portfolio. You got to build a position in some of these cruise lines. Yeah, I guess we just be a little patient down here, 26, 27.
Yeah, I think you are. I mean, 29.90 is your first level, 28.5 is your next.
Yep.
But I think you just have to be patient. The patterns look all the same.
Mr. Mark Roberts, any plans for the weekend, my friend?
Relaxing.
Perfect. That's what we like, and have some of that lemonade and cranberry. And thank you so much for joining us again on What's a Fun Friday. Thank you, Mark Roberts from Sun Lake Strategies.
Have a great day.
Ciao.
All right, guys, a few analyst moves to get to this morning, notable ones. I mentioned Biogen early on. There we go. To the upside today, 1.5% here in the pre-market. Play, we talked about the earnings, upgraded as well on this side of the board. FCell had earnings earlier in the week, price target cut on FCell. And yeah, Snowflake on the watch today, guys, on the watch sheet as well. If you want to grab that to the downside today for Snowflake.
Yeah, to the downside and stuff like that. VRTX, Veritex, of course, you know, the whole thing, that study for it's antitrypsin. I don't even know if I can pronounce that one right. And they're getting not woodshedded because we saw what happened with Ocugen yesterday. That was a heck of a lot crazier in terms of percentage moves. But you are seeing it down like 12 or 13%. Now, there was a bit of a bounce up here, and I was just watching a bit of a small break at 186. I like a fade into 200. I was looking at this one. Whoops, that's way over to the futures. I was looking at this one on the daily chart and just looking at that previous floor, and this thing was just barcoding by that 200 level. So I kind of feel like if it has a bounce in it, a pep in its step, not really even thinking about previous prices. If it gets close to 200, the news is pretty bad. And obviously, if it makes a pop, like a sympathy rally, I want to short into it. There is a 180 possible break, but Veritex, a name that'll be on the radar just because of this news today. I don't know if it's going to pull an OCGN because that was nuts. This stock would have to go to 120 bucks, and then it would pull an OCGN.
I just want to, my wife just sent me something funny. I don't know if it's a joke or not, but like she said, should we get this for my dad? Like, get flowers for Father's Day? I don't know if this is a joke or not, but let me know if you guys ever get flowers for Father's Day. I never really heard of that, so I'm trying to clarify it with her if that was a joke or not, but I don't know. My kids are already doing, as you can see with the NFT collection over here, there's some big-time art already happening at my place. And I just noticed, this is why. You guys may wonder, I don't know, you probably don't wonder at all. I sometimes wonder what I'm doing. But this was from Father's Day 2020 from my kids. So that's why I always am showing the trophy, because I know that the kids sometimes watch it and like to celebrate that. So I'm very, very excited. Not that Father's Day is this weekend. I think it's the next weekend. But obviously it's not Sunday, but very, very excited for that. One of my favorite days, especially if you have young kids. I know you know about that, Neil. It's always nice to get, something original for Father's Day. So I'm going to have to get creative and make something with my hands for my father. Maybe I'll just make him like a big AMC painting or something like that.
I wonder if there's a specific type of flower that you're supposed to get for Father's Day. I've never heard of that before, but it's
I've heard of it.
I mean, why not? But yeah. Let's jump into what's moving around to the pre-market, guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you grab the absolutely free to you morning note. We send it out every morning before we come on at 8:30. That's the website. If you haven't done so already, Miss V can help you out in the chat as well. Let's get into these stocks here, guys. We'll talk about AMC first, coming off a bit of a sell-off, to say the least. Yesterday, it was down about 20% at one point. SEC filings yesterday. I mean, this is no surprise to anyone, but 5 members of the board selling as much as $4 million worth of shares yesterday for AMC.
And look, it's actually holding up pretty nicely on this little bit of a pull, slight pullback in here. It looked like we were going to be gearing up for this like 46 quarter, 46.50 breakout through the top in the pre-market. That would have been nicely above afternoon resistance levels. Much like I wanted Clover to do sort of the same thing here. It's about $1 away from that resistance level. I'd like to see if you get off the open. I mean, I look back at this like 44 and think that you probably have to give it to like 43.50, like at least the top end of this cluster before you're doing a dip buy. And I think Sean mentioned like leave some bullets in the chamber, and that was the only thing that saved me in Clover yesterday was not digging in too deep on any of these dip buys. Just pick like 1 or 2 spots that you really like. If those get broken, start to get really, really patient because if you didn't wait out that 40, I can tell you that wipeout long at 40. You're sort of kicking yourself over that kind of a thing. So I think patience is going to be a virtue. It does have the feel of it being a breakout day. I just don't know if the volatility percentage moves, like I said with GameStop, are going to be quite as big. So I'm looking back at that. It's about like 43.5 to 44 area off of the open. It's very likely I'll be in Clover, and if I add GameStop to that, I probably will stay away from AMC. But I have levels on all of these names, and it's like whichever one comes into play is usually the one I'll jump into because I want to trade off of the levels. So if AMC were to run from here and I get Clover, back down at it's right at this 1470 area anyways, and I get Clover at that better price, and I'll probably dip into Clover.
Yeah, there's a lot of names. We talked about AMC. It is on the watch list today. And if you want to find that, it's up or not. It's on our watch list. It's also on the sticky note. You can find that here. And all I talked about here was looking for 44 to hold or that breakdown through 40. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything else today. I mean, I wish I could write a novel, but I'm trying to put them on the sticky note here on what we think about these things. But, you know, this is that 44 level. Again, there's no rocket science here. It's not like there's an obvious breaking spot for 44. I just think that yesterday we struggled between 44 and 45. So if we do want to go up, I do think we retest some bottoms here. Probably this 44. I'm actually bidding right now 44.20, so 21, sorry. Again, I don't know, just picking random prices. 44.21 on the downside, and it's not going to matter, hopefully, the penny on AMC today. And then we'll come down, and you got to watch out for this 43.50 area or so. But again, like, there's going to be more than dollar moves here. So very, very tough. I would just say let's watch out to see if this happens again, right? If this happens again, you come down to 40, and you get basically, I think this was on our Q&A, or we were doing one of our educational videos, and we talked about some of these blowout bottoms like this. Like, when you see that, and then look at the volume, and this is, I just think it's such a great learning opportunity here for many of us, and including myself as well. It's too bad that I don't have, again, some stocks here have our trades from yesterday and some don't. So just to let you know what I was doing, I was buying all into this, then we got blown out, I think like everybody else did, at this 40 level. And then as soon as it went back through 40, we went long, and this is when we had the $4 winner. So we actually took a beating downside, but then we saw that it stopped and then retraced back up. So as soon as we broke back through, I didn't get 40, I got like 40.50s, and then we were able to get out almost at the top. Like, we got out basically right here, 44.50 or so. So we took $4 backside, right? And I just want to see if that happens again. To me, this is exactly what we look for. If you guys see anything like that, like you're trading away with us, and you see some of these key levels, especially ones that Neil or myself talk about that are on the watch list or on the sticky note, if you ever see levels get blown out like that and then a retracement back, that is like a huge, huge opportunity to go. So we're going to wait to see what happens today at that 40 level if we retrace. But look, I'm a buyer at 44. If 44 doesn't work, we'll probably get out around this 42 level if it does break. So about a $2 worth of risk for me here on AMC, just because the range hasn't been large, right? 5 days ago, I think Neil and I and Brendan, we all of you guys as well, you can hold it for $5 against you because the chances it comes back. But yesterday, if you just look at this, if you start from 11.30, the high to 11.30 is $45, okay? The low, basically, if you take away that, is 41. So that's like a $4 move, despite, you know, I guess if you take it to the bottom, it's 5. The point being is ranges are tightened up a little bit here on AMC, so I think you have to trade accordingly. Let's see if options has any effect.
We will wait and see how AMC plays out today. Let's bring in Arun real quick and get a check on the overall market, understand a little bit about what we need to know heading into Friday's session. Arun, records for the S&P yesterday. What are you looking at today?
Records for the S&P yesterday. There's a couple things that happened yesterday that I do want to clarify that kind of set up the move that I was looking at. Anyways, I wanted to break above 40. We got that. I wasn't going to take it initially. I needed to make sure there was some support buying. We got that drop all the way down into the just below 20, and then we came right back up. That confirms the buy strength. The level was 15 at the time. Everything is good. It looks like buy-side bias is in play. Here's the issue now. We've changed contracts. Yesterday, we were trading the June contract. Now the September contract is a front month. For anyone who's looking at the futures now, you're going to notice that U21 or the U contract is the main contract for the S&P futures. Actually, not just the S&P, the NASDAQ futures as well. So the prices have changed. And in this type of situation, these are the few days of the year that I do not like trading. I'm going to actually pretty much take down all my levels and let the market operate on its own and figure out the levels after the market has opened. So what am I looking at now? Even though I had some levels that I wanted to work with yesterday, all those are out the window now. So I'll be letting the market open, see what it's got. If we can get above 40 on the U contract, again, the prices are different because the contracts have changed. So the September contract, the U contract is now 42.40 seems to be the high. If we get above there, let's see how much buy side action we get to continue that move. And if we can find some levels to work with after the market is open, then I think I can work with the levels that are in play at the time. The reason I do this is because volume gets split between the two contracts on the Friday before everyone moves over to the actual September contract on Monday, because not everyone rolls over on the same day, right? So you do have some people still trading the June contract, some people trading the September contract. Volume gets split. Not the best situation for me, who looks at volume and can't really get a good gauge on how things are moving, how strong levels are. So that's why I leave the market to open, and then I'll trade it after the fact. 40 seems to be the break. If we get above there, I think we'll get some form of level development that I can work with, and then we'll just continue on trading. I do want to address, though, there was a super chat, I believe, regarding the QQQs or the NASDAQ futures or even the triple Qs, all the same. On the daily chart, wondering if they're going to take out the all-time highs. It seems to be 342.80 was the all-time high on the Qs, corresponding levels on the TQs or the triple Qs, and also the NASDAQ futures, all the same, just different leverage points. It does look like there seems to be some upward compression. You'll notice that the low back in March was closer to 300, and then you had the May low being around 315. Now here we are pressing against that same 340 area, but the lowest point that we bounced after getting above 335 was about 330, 327, just around that 330 mark. So if we do break, I think you have to wait for some form of confirmation before you decide to go for that long, just because of how much time it's taking to take out this high. And every time we take it, we're not taking it out by much, right? The first break was 335 and change. And the second break was around 342. So only $7 before we actually retraced again. So if we take it out again, I want to see some form of stability before you decide to try to play for the expansion. And if you do decide to take the break, be aware, though, today is the rollover date. Next week, contracts expire, and there's a large, very large imbalance, the first of the two for the year, a very large imbalance that comes out next week. That could change the game for a lot of tech stocks because there's a large imbalance, large adjustments. Those things can change the way these instruments operate. So just be aware that if you do decide to get into a long today, you may have 7 days before the entire game changes when the imbalances come out. So just be aware that there's compression, but at the same time, they're taking a lot of juice to get through here. So that makes me wonder how much is going to be done through that imbalance next week.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again on Monday morning. Let's continue along, guys, with what is on tap for when the market opens under 30 minutes from now. GameStop Corporation, another one that got absolutely hammered yesterday, was down as much as 30% at the lows, or even more slightly. But trying to bounce here as well. I mean, there's no additional news around these today, but we had the earnings, obviously, yesterday for GME, some executive changes as well.
Yeah, I mean, not hammered in the bad way, of course, because it came to that downside. Now, it's actually starting to come back in. There was a bit of a 236, we'll call it here. I'm expanding the chart just so you can see yesterday's action, because clearly it tells you a very obvious story. We already mentioned about yesterday's close at 220. This was a decent bounce off the bottom. I really thought it would be a 200 test. It never was. I took a 220 break. It ends up closing essentially at that price. You got small wins there before it had any kind of a follow through. So I look to that cluster, 220 to 225, to be a bit of a setup. If it cannot hold these levels, I mean, you're probably getting that 200 test. So anything below this 220 mark, I almost don't want a long that can't test 200. I know it would seem like, okay, yeah, 210 would be a good bounce level. The way it was so weak yesterday, I'm not even going to go with that one. And I already see Clover here, so I had a couple of scalp trades in there, and Clover looking like it's going to give me an early stop because I don't want to hold on to this thing, too many times here. So I'm going to get out of Clover, take a smaller hit in this one, and then hunt back down for lower prices. I think GameStop is going to be a similar story. If you get like one of these, I guess follow through. Rune just mentioned follow through. If you get follow through on a 235 break, like it actually gets to 240 and holds a bid, that's the kind of thing that you could look for. I find when it's a crazy up moves, you can find your way into it. You don't always have to have the absolute bottom to catch it.
No, so yeah, I mean, great talk there. And Neil hit AMC yesterday for the top. I hit the top at 290, but I thought we were going to break out of 290. It was great that 290 was the top, but unfortunately, we were long GameStop. It was very, very small hits for GameStop, but what a good bottom that was yesterday. We talked about that on our afternoon show. Okay, so AMC's coming in, guys, right now to that 44 level like we talked about. So we're going to get long very, very soon. We're at 44.21 on that random price. And then we're going to get longer again, probably into some 43s. And then I do want to get long again, 42 and change. So right now, it's going to be in this $2 range. I want to play long. I want to get an average price. I want my average price to be, if we come down here, man, like my average price will be around 43, which is perfectly fine. And then if we break down low, obviously it'll take us down, and that'll be a hit. But I'm going to see if we can protect this 42 as AMC coming to the downside. Let's just check out our imbalance locator quickly as we go. So again, there's NCLH, Norwegian. What's up, Mark? The stock father gave us that pick as well. AMC down 400, up 400,000 to the buy side. So hey, it's pretty small today. Arun talked. I mean, you're going to watch out for next Friday. Next Friday is the third Friday, yeah. So next Friday you'll see some big imbalance numbers coming on these locators. So right now today it seems like it might be summertime trading off the open, but that doesn't mean that it won't be exciting once the market gets open. So let's wait to see what happens here. But right now AMC, it looks like we just missed that bid, man. We went as low as 34. We were a couple pennies lower than that. So AMC bouncing around. Good GameStop talk there. There's going to be lots of levels for GameStop to look at. We'll just see if it wants to continue its move down. I still think that there's going to be option plays here. That 210 was that kind of that blowout bottom. You didn't see all the volume come in there, but you can see where we were. There's a lot of volume came in right at the end of the day to support some of these low bids. So let's wait to see if that happens again. You do have that 227 level.
All right, let's go to, speaking of NCLH, let's talk about some of these cruise operators and see if there's a trade here. Possibly it was Royal Caribbean, not Caribbean. Celebrity Millennium ship. There was 2 passengers that tested positive for COVID-19. They were sharing a room. So, I mean, as we said, kind of to be expected as operations start to resume on these cruise ships. But more to come, I guess, for any of these guys.
Yeah, and like if you look at the chart, and apologies in advance for anyone looking at RCL specifically, usually CCL, and I know we're probably going to be the same on this, Sean, CCL is usually the vehicle that I like to trade in here, and it's done almost 1 million shares in volume, if not just a little bit above that. And you get this. It's like 31.50 top that just got made on the daily, and the several days in that range. And you go to the 15 minutes just so you can get an idea of what it's been looking like here. And then if you look at how many times we tested it, and then this bottom, this will be like your 30.25, right? So you get that level flushing out in yesterday's action, cannot retrace it. So that's like your clean sort of like pullback. And then on top of that, you get the negative news. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. I'm going to be thinking on the south side, a short side, I guess I should say, on CCL today. Now, if it wants to pop back in, this thing closed at 29.80, so I'd love to be shorting 3/4, and then something like that in front of like that 75 into 30.25 area, because that's your go zone. Now, it might not actually catch that trade just because it looks like it's trying to roll over at 29.50 or so. This is just on my 15-minute chart, guys. There's also a bottom break you can have. I do prefer in CCL trying to catch the fade trade. I like breakouts to the upside. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done too many breakouts to the downside here, and the low is 29.25, not 29 even. And I think there's trouble below that price. So if we can pop into this 75 range, that's where I want to short in CCL. I mean, I know RCL has the news. As a day trader, you got to hunt volume, though.
Okay, yeah, no, exactly. And I prefer CCL as well. It's actually on my sticky note, and we talked about this there. We're going to watch 29 to the downside, and I know that, Daryl, you were talking about it, Neil just talked about it as well. I just wonder, I look at the daily chart here, and this is what I was trying to get at with Mark, and I think we did good discussions here, is just that it's been, I just wonder if it's overplayed a bit here. Like, the momentum is so huge with CCL right now. We were just at $24 a month ago, and then now we're back. I guess, I guess the play maybe has already happened here. We already were at 31.50, now to come back to 29.50, that's a decent pullback right there. I always feel like stocks are going to, especially when they're a little bit now on the negative side of things right now, like not too much positive talk really right now about the cruise lines and about some of these reopen plays. We saw JP Morgan and some of the banks fall. I just wonder if some of the names that have been strong are now flipping back over. You saw, and I'm going to talk about AMD as well. That's on the list. Shout out to you, Eric, that mentioned that to me as well. I just think that some of these names that maybe led the rally may come back in a little bit, and they all try to gravitate, in my opinion anyways, from my experience, to this 50-period moving average, which was 28. So I'm just looking at 29. Now, whether or not that's good, this is a 20-minute chart, whether or not that's going to be good or not, like you see, we haven't even come through 29 in the last little while. But if you scroll back down just a little bit, I mean, here's 29 here. And again, there's nothing really about 29. I just like the fact that it's an even level, but I'm with Neil on this one as well. I'd love to short upside. So if we can get up here, I do have an offer around 30 to get short. Then we have an offer around 30 quarters to get short right here. So we'll just wait to see. I'd rather go short on pops than it break down below. But if it does break 29, I will take a baby short to see if we can scalp a little bit. But I do like the short above same. I don't know if you said 30.75, but I like kind of like 29.75, 30, and then 30 and a quarter. So I think we'll average into the short, and if it breaks 30.50, then we'll get out. I don't see this as being a big runner today.
Just saw Boeing pop up here real quick, guys. There was a headline on Boeing. Apparently they've offloaded, the Wall Street Journal reporting, they've offloaded some of the unclaimed MAX 737 jets. So they had a whole bunch of orders where during the pandemic, the buyers walked away from those deals. So apparently they have found new buyers. It doesn't actually say who the buyer is, but Boeing just popped up there on a little bit of volume to the upside, up about 1%. Let's go to Chewy next. Out with decent earnings. Aftermarket yesterday for Chewy really didn't do much. Still really isn't doing much. Kind of in the aftermarket range currently in the pre-market here. Earnings were decent though, better than expected in fact, but they're forecast a little bit on the cautious side, guys.
We'll hit this.
I mean,
There he is. There's Chewy. Go ahead, Neil. I don't have much to say on this name, actually.
The volume's basically not there. I wrote down like 75 line in the sand because if they decide to sell this off, like maybe, like I think a sell-off that actually takes you to the post-market low is going to be an interesting one. But on 150,000 of volume, look, you guys know I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I love that key. Sean just got to it before I did. We're going to get a bit of a look here if it does make that move down. There's so many other fish to fry, I think. But I would say, if you look at the daily chart, it actually sets up pretty nicely to consolidate off of this like 50 period. It's just whether or not you get a massive run. It probably has to break 81. And that's where like a muted breakout price would be back into this 90 range. So the fact that it's sliding down, maybe there's a dip to be bought. But I'll probably be buying a dip in a meme stock. And by the way, Clover, boo. So already put tight stops. I'm in and out of Clover one time. And of course, it looks like it's going to be bouncing here. But I want to wait for that 14.20 off the open.
Yeah, I see what you're saying here, Daryl, about CCL. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, look, I do spend a lot of time looking at the chat. I mean, that's 100%. You guys have definitely helped me, and especially if you guys. I mean, Daryl, you're welcome back on the show, by the way. Fire us an email if you want to come back as guest trader of the day. Would love to have you, especially in the summertime. Let us know, of course. But yeah, $30 for CCL. Yeah, you're right. You got to wait for key levels here. That's why, if you guys have noticed, we haven't. I'll talk about PLTR as well. Neil, it's a trap, says Savalas there.
What's wrong?
Because obviously there's some Star Wars references there. I still have to watch Loki. I think we're going to be watching that tonight.
The first episode was good. I watched.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about. So don't say anything about it. But yeah, Loki there. I'm not really big into Marvel, but we're getting there because of Disney Plus. And I mean, what else are you going to watch if not Marvel and Star Wars on that channel? Although they've had some really good movies lately. My kids like that new one. Raya, the princess something? Okay, I don't even know what we were talking about, but I guess it was Chewy, and then we got distracted with CCL in the chat there. Yeah, I'm with Neil, man, 158,000. It's not a big one for volume-wise. It didn't do much. It went up. They thought they liked it. Then they hit it. Then they said no comment. So right now, down 1.7%. I remember trading Chewy off earnings. It doesn't... I don't know. I just don't know what to expect here from Chewy. So there's really no levels in mind here. We thought it would be big one way or the other. We could check out our boys Bark today. That's more, for me, that's more important because I'm a shareholder in Bark. But again, only 20,000 shares today, and you're flat on this. Watch out for this level to break. We talked about this yesterday, 1350. I don't think we get there today, but those have been high levels for Bark. So Bark, and then there's also Pets, it's Woof, on the NASDAQ is another name to look at today if you just want to get some pin action. But a lot of these stocks, like 8,000 shares, just not really going to do anything. And my chart's not working, so I throw it back to Brendo.
Potentially a little more exciting here. Snowflake on watch. They presented their latest financial targets at their investor day yesterday, which, according to the chart anyways, were not good. So negative reaction in the aftermarket after the close yesterday. But I draw your attention over here to the daily chart because there's this consolidation area, guys, that we're right back into here. 237 up to about 240 for Snow.
I mean, that makes it interesting if for like those who have missed out on maybe the move here. But to me, it's kind of like that Chewy. Like I want to see it. I actually want to see you buying into that range. So I need to get down to like this 230, 232, 235 area, and then you can maybe start thinking about it as the day trade. The volume isn't exactly gigantic. I'm not taking a breakout, after it's made a move like that, and you're in a consolidation area. Look at all of the chop that is in this range in the last few sessions. So most of the chop is above these prices. So the long breakout doesn't really make any sense off that high. I think you're looking for a dip to be bought in this name. And it's probably likely to do, Not 100% sure. It's probably likely to have a bit better volume and volatility, relatively speaking, to a 2 Chewy. At least for the way that we like to trade these names in front of key levels. But I could be wrong about that. I think both those names for me, I need to see it come down into that support, give you a nice little bounce off it, maybe one of those like 11 o'clock type of plays or towards the end of the show, and you're buying lows if there is a bit of a fall. And that would probably coincide with a rejection of that breakout level that Arun was talking about at the top on the Qs or, I guess the NASDAQ futures. So if that were to happen, you might actually get this pullback in some of these levels. So you got to have them in the back of your mind. If that's happening, I'm probably sure we'll be all over some of the meme names as well.
Okay, so I will talk about Snowflake in a minute, but I just want to get to this question here because it's from a member. What's up, member? And if a member asks us this, man, I'm going to get it to you ASAP. It's $5 a month just for fun membership. But here it is, man. What's the short interest on Edit? So Editas Medical right here. Good name, good look. And it's pretty big, man. It's 17.86% according to Trade Ideas. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit of news difference from different sources. Brendan can confirm as well. EDIT, 17.86, but today's volume is bumping. So watch out today. Options volume today, 187%. So there's lots of stuff going on with that. It's relatively small, 2.5 billion. So look out for that. Editas Medical. So thank you for that. Ashutosh there. Thank you so much for the question and for becoming a member. Look, Snowflake is just going to give me more reasons here to hammer baby Palantir. So, or baby Palantir Snowflake. So let's go over and look at Palantir. I'm wondering if we get this look today off that. So Palantir's flat today. They're both data-driven businesses, obviously. So there could be some pin action. I'm very, very surprised that Palantir's holding high here. So there's two trades for Palantir. The first one is I'm already layered in here. So my bids are already here. So they're already here. We're going to see what happens at 23.50. So that's good. But if Snowflake retraces back to the upside, then I like this break as well, man, 24.35. So watch out for Palantir to break through 24.35. We like that name, but the problem is it kind of goes, like, if it's a slow day on the NASDAQ, then I don't expect much to happen with Palantir, and that's just the way it's been. It basically barcoded all afternoon after making this monster move down here yesterday. So that's scaring me a little bit, but the good thing is we bounced off 23.50. So even on a daily chart here for Palantir, we do have VWAP, 50-period moving average at 22.50. I think there's a lot of support here. But as you can see, it had a monster run off that 18.50 that we called for a reload. And then right now, you're kind of struggling around here. So let's see if 23.50 can hold. Uh-oh, we're into something. What are we into? AMC. So here we go, guys. AMC, we're loaded and locked in right now to one part of our trade. So the bid starts here. We are already long AMC. This was part of the plan, man. We talked about this. So no need to panic. We have 8 minutes to go here before we even open up. I do have more orders layered in here. Let's see if we test 43. Let's see if we test 42. And then we'll see what happens at 42 bottom. So right now we're long AMC 44.21 for my first trade of the day.
All right, a number of little ones to have a look at or be aware of this morning, all at the bottom end of the watch list. This one was not, simply because it popped up a little bit later on in the morning. This one had news yesterday late in the day that sent this thing very much higher to 350, in fact. So I wanted to point out a couple things here on the daily chart. First, 345 to 350 goes back to about a week and a half ago or so. There was a very clear pivot on the daily chart for this thing, which it has now tested multiple times here in the pre-market. So very clear line in the sand for this, 340, 345 for PTIX, guys.
Another one on here, PGEN. I'm just going to call it PGen. It is second last on our list here. They did have a type 1 diabetes study, and it was phase 1B, 2A. Well, essentially, not phase 3. And there was positive result there. So it's making some moves. This is the size of the gap up, and it is a pretty large one off of $7 here. But it showed immediate weakness. You guys know that I like when that happens. So off of that 6 a.m. and then 7 a.m., both flushes to the downside. When that happens, I look for usually shorting the next little pop. That happens here. It does not get to that previous $10 level, so I then short off of this 970. It flushed to both levels of support. This $9 was the last time I got out. It's now below 9. The only way I'll add to this position, if it pops back and holds 925 off the open, I want to roll in some shares that way. And a lot of people were asking about NOVN, which Brennan brought to you guys also having news today. And all I was saying is if it holds like this 1335 area, I mean from here, and a bit of a break and then a bit of a retest. If it holds this off the open, I think it probably tests the top. This one is very bullish for me, so I'm kind of staying away from it. I mean, I'm staying away from shorting it for sure. If it blows through that 1335, I would start thinking that it's in for a retracement short. You know, you then talking about, does it hold 11, does it hold 12 even, things along that nature. So there's enough room below that 1335 price that there'd be an actionable short there back into like 14, which would be VWAP. So that's the only level I'm watching. If it takes out the top, so be it. The second Sean was like, I got into AMC. I was like, okay, let's look back at Clover. I had some scalp trades off VWAP here. Yeah, that's nice. And then we got back into that price. It broke that 1460 I was looking at. So I'm now looking to see if it tests back down to about 1420 or so. 14 to 1420. It's not necessarily that you got to draw a line in the sand here, but if you look at Clover yesterday, and this is going to be the 15, so you can sort of see, this is $14 and this is $13.85. Right at yesterday's close, this was a breakout price when this really started to get going. So, you know, this is where it's at. Like, this is kind of your line in the sand. If it breaks 13.85, that is the next long I will have in front of it. If that's gone, I will then just look for the signals of a turn. We're talking like 10 failed break to the downside, things along those nature. I'm not going to be digging in 7 or 8 times like 2 days ago. Yesterday I did it twice. And I got some scalp wins and took smaller hits, so it was still negative. Today I want that same approach. It does feel like it should be stronger today based on the bottom that it put in and where it put in that bottom.
Yeah, heads up, Carnival right now was a little news piece. It's not huge. It's not really moving the stock. It's just talking about that they are planning on, just proceeding here. U.S. remain in planned source to restart this summer. So that's CCL. I could tweet that out, but it's not a major play. Okay, so we're already 11 cents now in the money here on AMC. First target, man. This is not... You know, we will get out a half here at 45 or whatever percentage here at 45 if it does go back up, and then we'll see if we test the highs. That's for sure. And I just wanted, we had a lot of fun early already, 500 votes. So thank you so much for that. And I just want to give an update, man. Lemonade just takes the lead right there. So Lemonade Bull's kicking right now, so we'll find out what happens with that. Iced coffee, I don't know what's going to win this thing, but right now we'll update this at 11 o'clock and see where we are. But right now, Lemonade leading the way. If you guys, I'll put this in our chat here. I know we're going to talk stock. I just want to give everyone an update on the drink race right now. Yeah, Microsoft, that's my name, guys. There goes AMC, so a nice little win already, 23 plus cents, but we're not taking it. This could backfire on us for sure. 28.50 was my Microsoft level, guys. So let's see if that could take that out. Microsoft already up today, 28.50. Thank you for reminding me, whoever just put that in the chat. There you are there. Dude Randomy. Thank you so much for reminding us about Softy. With only a few minutes to go, guys. Wow. Let's wait to see where this goes.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go, and it looks like it was Scott H. Hey, what's up, Scotty H? If you guys can find a squid head or anything that looks like Admiral Akbar, I have zero problem throwing that bad boy on and saying it's a trap. I can't do it as well as the actual scene, but I'm a Star Wars guy. I have no problem doing that for you guys. A lot of questions about SENS, and I know this was one in the afternoon. For those of you watching the afternoon show, it's now gapping up, so the strength does continue here. I actually was waiting for a short off of the 375. Now 375 kind of becomes your floor. It's holding a couple of times here, but $4, let's just go to the daily chart here. There's not a heck of a lot. So when you get the even number like the 4, and you don't have anything to like $5 or $6 up here in terms of levels, you have to think about that even level. So if it gets below $4, that's when I would start thinking a little bit bearish. You have a bit of a cluster to 375 you can work with. That high of the day is kind of random at 415, so I'll probably be staying away from it. It looks pretty bearish, bullish from yesterday's action, and it does look like Clover's trying to bounce off that 1450 for now, but I'm still trying to be patient and buy that dip in front of 14.
Okay, I'm just right now, guys. I'm wondering. Someone's saying AMC profit tiny. You know what? I'm gonna agree and get out a little bit right now. Let's just take this 44-cent winner if we can get it there. We're offering 70s. Right? Oh, did we get that? No, we didn't. We're offering 70s right now. We'll probably get it off the open as long as there's a little bit of a spike up. We should be able to get ticked out here. I mean, I don't want to pay down now. We just went to 80 there. Oh man, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay down to 60. Okay, let's just hope this moves. I expect it to move off the open, so whatever. Hopefully we get that 44.70. That would be a shame if we missed that, but good call, whoever just said profit time there for me on AMC, because we had 70-cent winner there. or no, it's 50-cent winner there. Hopefully we'll be able to put that in our pocket. Now here it comes. Come on, give me that 44.70 off that level. We'll see. Okay, I just took a Microsoft. I put my order in. I don't know. It's not going to be a huge trade off the open. I don't want to break this top and then we don't come back. So, or sorry, we do come back if we break the top. We breakouts haven't been working great, but excuse me, I will just had my water. And what's up to Shakib there? Don't spam the chat, my friend. 258.50 though. If that breaks, we're going to go long, but I'd rather get longer in the 257 area. So we're going to wait for that one to come through. So those are some early plays. And then I did put on the chat there on my sheet, AMD. It's 82.50 is the multi-day break. The day chart's going to, damn it, we still have that wick up there. I got to fix that. 82.50 anyways, a multi-day break on, this is 82.15, but I do like 82.50 if you're going to go long off AMD. We're almost out here. One more tick up, man. We'll get out of AMC. We'll put 50 cents in our pocket and let the other half go. Neil, only 15 left, buddy.
Yeah, we're about to get this countdown on. Just broke the low, that PGE and PGen. It's at 864, so almost a clean dollar in the money now. If it pops off the open, this is going to be one we're going to take to the short side off 9, 3, 2, and 1. Ms. D, let's get the party started. It's Friday. Let's end the week off. Well, check that. I should say 925. If this thing pops to 925, I do want it on that play. CCL, I wanted to look. Oh, wow. PGen dying here. It's now down at 840. Are you kidding me? I mean, if I'll slip a bid in here just for that rubber band action, if it wants to take me out, and I'll short any kind of a pop that we can get. So already bucking the money there. I thought CCL was going to maybe give you a bit of a press, especially on that news, Sean, to the upside. I guess not. Like immediately to that downside action on CCL. So it's not going to be able to short that pop unless we come right back into that 29.50 area. I don't want to start it that early, but it just went hard to the downside there. We're not seeing much of anything in Clover, so it looks like AMC is the one with the strength, John.
Yeah, AMC is a big-time strength. A nice little win there. We took that out, and it does go to our 45.80, so we should have took some out there at that 45.80. So we're going to put a bid there and see if we can get it again if it goes back upside right now. So we're going to go 1 for 1 to start the day here. 45 and change coming, hopefully, for AMC. We'll take that bottom, and we'll see if we can get out up here. But here we go. Let's go, AMC. $1.20 in the money, $1 and change in the money. Let's just keep on going to the upside. We're long at 44.21, and our offer's at 71s. Let's get it. Let's see if we can get this. We're going to cheer it on and hopefully get this trade. I only have one on board, so hopefully that's a good one. Do I need to pay for shorts for Clover? Do you know about that, Neil?
Oh, you know what? So I was looking at buying the dip. So I actually didn't check because I was looking to go long, and of course I just talked about 14.20. I just got 22s on this dip buy. This is a level here off that 7 a.m. retracement. So you might be right. I did not check to see if we have to pay for the shorts, but I just caught a quick little bounce. So I'm going to scalp some out in front of this little level here, that 14.45. I want to be able to go long on any consolidation off 14.12 or 14.20. Do we need to pay for them?
Yeah, we do. I've already asked Greg if you're free, if Greg can do it, but if not, that's fine. Okay, so AMC. Bang! To start the day right there. It's a chicken dinner winner to start your day off with AMC. We talked about that. We planned that. Bang, bang, bang to the upside. We even tweeted that one out, guys. So again, follow on Twitter if you're watching us. That's fantastic. But here it is, the tweet right here. Started a long position on AMC. Let's see where we go. We're going to go long all the way through. So there's the tweet there, and there's the out. So, again, putting our money where our mouth is. Yeah, we do have to pay for shorts on Clover and on AMC, I think. So right now, watch out. I like this Clover break. I know you had the long. I like the long as well, but I am nervous about this 14 break. So that's where we're there. Microsoft right now comes all the way back down to 257. There's that bid that we wanted. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's see, man. I mean, I like this call. I don't know if it's going to go down. It's a light position, but I'm really happy to have this. I want to add to it. So maybe this is the start of something here. In case we're in trouble to Softy, then I know we're going to be wrong at this 256.40. So I'm going to averaging in, man, all the way to this 256.40.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get those Clover shorts. Whether you're going to take them or not, I always want to make sure I got them. It's now dipping back down to that 14.20 level, so we talked about wanting this in front of that 14. But this AMST is another one was on the list. I believe Brendan might not have mentioned it. If he didn't, I apologize. I wanted to only short a pop. It was hanging on those lows at 4. So I just got some at the 440 range here, and it's immediately starting to come down. I like these sort of pop failure type trades on some of these gap up plays. So I'm going to go quickly, scalp them off in front of 420. It's just kind of a thing. 420, whatever. I don't make it up. 420 is where it was. Brendo?
A little one here. Arcon, RCON, Oil and Gas Services Company from China, popping up here. Big volume at the open there. Took out 17. They announced a couple of new contracts today, guys, for RCON.
Microsoft. Let's go. Here we go, upside now, man. Another 50 cents winner there for Microsoft on the upside. It just goes to 257.50 there. Now let's see if this thing wants to fly, man. I told you, this is why we were super excited when we got this bid downside there. We didn't get any 80s. I was actually waiting at 81, which is unbelievable. Again, it only goes to 83, but we've talked about why that happens a couple different times. And then we average in now. We actually tried to take 257.25 on the break there. So now let's see if we can go to the upside right now as Softy. We've averaged into this one, 257.50. How high did we go there? Let's put an offer to get out there. We'll see if we can go 2 for 2 early here, guys.
Exactly. We'll try to keep the party going here. That AMST that we just got in, I did get that fill when it broke 420 here, so 415. Look, you look at this range and it can't break 4. I'll take more shares on a 4 break on AMST, and I'll reload some shares if it gets back up to that 440 range. So I want to be able to play both directions in this one if I can. You're going to watch out for this other. We also got PGEN, by the way, and I know this one, when it slides down this far in the money, I know I sort of have a bid here at 8. I also want to play any kind of a pop. If it gets back to about 9 to a 9.25, I'll likely reload on that, but I want to make sure I get an order out there just in case. I don't want this getting away from me on a pop, and then I don't get into that position. Clover is the only one that's not necessarily working. We were able to get more shares back in off of 14 even, but the bounce is pretty muted for now. Remember, 1385, big time level on that daily chart if you want to go further back, and then yesterday's low as well on Clover. If it cannot make a run off of this level, I mean, I don't know where this thing is going to end up. I'll continue to scalp wins because you got to take profit where it is on the stock. It's been so weak.
Yeah, the NASDAQ coming back to the downside, so now we're loaded up. There, see, like no lies. I mean, I don't lie about the position. Neither of us do, obviously. I don't think any trader should if you're trying to learn off of them. I mean, I told you I was waiting at 256.81. There it is. There's the fill right there, right in front of you. So thank you so much for that, John Wilkins. You are welcome about AMC, man. And I mean, that is the perfect storm for me there on AMC. Like, we just played this like a fiddle. Like, we went long and we just tweeted this out. There's my initial long, out, and then out basically at the top. And now you're back into the reload position. But again, we're just a little bit looking at that softy trade here. We do have an offer to get out of this one now at 15. So there it is, man. Like, yes, sir, a 20-cent win on a loaded up position now, man. Like, this is what we're talking about. When you find stock that you like, you have to trade it and you have to just play the levels. And here we go to the softy, to the upside. Bang on this stock. And guys, again, we talked about why we like softy. It was my lead with Mark Roberts, right? So there we go. Let's go. Now we're 70, 60 cents in the money on Microsoft, and we continue to go upside.
Yeah, and there goes that Clover bouncing nicely here. Going to scalp some out at 36 again, so we'll go whiz on this one. If it gets into this cluster, I'll take, and this is like 1450 to that 1470. I will take some off in the middle of that range as well. I can tell you AMST is dying as it just broke 4 even. I told you I wanted to add on a break of 4 even. That's what I've done here. So you see my average price move down to 411. And then PGEN. We are all out of this stock as it hits target right here in front of 8 even, so we short at 950, clean $1.50 on that one. We'll walk on water. Those of you guys that were in the chat earlier, this one just showed all kinds of weakness all morning long. You know that setup we like. Love that setup. Brendo?
I mentioned this one late in the day yesterday, guys. We saw a whole bunch of therapeutic-type biotech companies, little tiny ones, popping up late in the afternoon yesterday. A little bit of follow-through here for APTX coming up to $4 on volume, guys.
All right, yeah, no, just looking here, looking at trying to watch this softy trade. Like, I don't want to be holding this thing all day here. We just went into the 50s again, up to 60. I even canceled my offers. I actually have one at 257.80 right here to get back into this cluster, but just realizing that I wonder about this bottom right there. Once it broke, man, it just crashed it. So a little bit nervous there. Not nervous, but I don't want this softy trade to turn out against us again. It's not going to. I mean, we've already taken profits, but that was probably a good level there. I want to put another offer at 257.60. Damn it, might have missed that one. Brendo again?
Wasn't doing much in the pre-market, but play. Dave & Buster's starting to go here. Just took out that pre-market high on a volume spike, guys, after earnings, aftermarket.
And remember VRTX that was getting beat down on that canceled study? It just touched up toward that 200 level. I mean, 200 on a dime is now going to be that top. And it's one of those situations where having to stop at the exactly 200 seems like a bit of a bad move. So I'm going to go throw it at like 201. I kind of want to leave myself some room to play this a couple of times off this move. It is such a big bounce, 180 to 200, and that is basically halfway here. So it's a $200 name. I think the downside, well, I mean, upside of the trade, downside of the move here on a pullback, right down into this like 190 to 192 on a conservative basis. So you want to make sure you give this one a little bit of room here, guys. So I don't want a 200 exactly stop level, guys. It just feels like that's reckless, and it's not going to allow me to hold on to that position to the level that I like it. it. So on the new position alert, of course, but I want to make sure I give it a little bit of room here on VRTX. AMST is now starting to bounce back. And remember, my average price ends up like 40.12 is because I still have some shares at 40.40. I would wait until we get to VWAP to add into this position at all, guys. I just want to give you an idea of how much it had gapped up, because it's a bit of a 2-day move here, not a 1-day. And Clover, as much as it was looking good, now it's right on that 14 level.
Yeah.
So it just bounced. Now remember, 1385 was that bottom from yesterday. 1385 was that level on the daily chart. So 14 even kind of seems good, but 1385 is the line in the sand.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we put on our note, guys. And it's funny, I said 1375. So either way here, we have a new position alert on Clover. We did take the short there. And again, I don't like these breakout shorts, so it's not a heavy position. But I do like the short since we did break that 14. But again, we can't hold Clover for too long because it'll turn sour on us ASAP. So I do have some bids to the low side in case it does crack one more time, and well aware of those levels. It's even on our sticky note right there. Microsoft, we did not reload, probably should have, but it just went down to 257. If we get back down here, we will reload. We are going to get a piece off again now, as we held it. It's coming all the way back to the upside right now. So 60-cent winner here for Softy. Maybe let's take a little piece out. I'm just not nervous about the NASDAQ here today. What's up, Brendo?
Thanks to floor manager Greg here on our floor in Toronto. Reminding us of this one, guys. Orphazyme, crazy halt fest yesterday. Yeah, it's at it again. Already halted for ORPH.
Oh my, okay, someone, apologies, because someone asked in the chat, and I didn't see exactly who it was, and I already responded to it saying, yeah, there might be like a 10.50, and if that goes to the upside, I'd probably start. I wouldn't short it till like $20 to $25, but there it goes. It actually broke that 10.50. It was barcoding, doing nothing. Guys, this stock halted. I'm not bothering to count how many times it halted to the upside, but all you've got is this cluster at the close when it seemed like it was reasonable, I suppose, at 20.70, and then these prices when the big gap down happened, 25. So that's where I get that notion of like 20 to 25. If it goes multiple times, halt to the upside. I don't know if that's going to happen. It might not, guys, but it's very, very thin. Tread very, very lightly. AMST, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. We'll go with the gates of hell for this bad boy. 380 we just got out, so another nice one here. We started at 450. We added on a 4-even break, mentioning it to you guys here. So, 350 does stand out. 277 is where this thing was yesterday at the close. I like to think he can make at least another 50% retracement here from that 450 level.
Okay, so we just did take off a little bit of Softy there, same levels as before, right here at VWAP, so that's 34. I mean, look, we're long at 81s, so it's a 50-cent win, so we'll take that. We'll check back in on AMC a little bit as well here to see where that's going, bouncing around again, a good little level. We just missed that bid again. Like, we were down there on that bid. Where were we, man? 43.20's asked. We missed it by 20 cents. Might get involved now with AMC again. Just, I'd rather get these levels. So I'm going to stick with what we said earlier and try to pick levels on AMC. Okay, so Clover, to me, that's worth it all times there. The long is probably better on Clover. I just saw what happened yesterday and was wondering if some of these levels may have just cracked today, but it doesn't look like it. So good on Clover to hold up. I will average into this VWAP. So if it does come back up, expect me to get some averages here, and then we'll get out if it goes to 1480s for a loser. But for right now, it's just a calm down stock, and we'll wait to see what it does. Microsoft's a big winner for us. Let's check in on AMD. I also noticed I would check CCL for. Wow, we gave that 82.50 level. That doesn't come, but I'm very, very close. Maybe this is a good pickup spot. And again, I don't want to be long a lot of these NASDAQ names just in case, but there you go, a nice little bottom, 81.30. Let's go long here at AMD, guys. I'm
going to get another leg out here. It's 375 is broken AMST, but I see you guys, NOVN, wow, and of course, this stock is crazy. I just got to 1650 on this puppy. This is what the daily chart looks like, so you're not really going to see anything that gives you, for myself, that gives me any kind of an entry point other than reading the tape to see it go to the downside. It holds that 1335 level, so it does make that little bit of a bounce, and then you get that test of the top. I kind of thought it would be a test of the top and not blowing through, so pie in my face, but if you got that long, I wasn't obviously that confident in it, or I would have been in it myself. Just to check back on VRTX, we're getting some consolidation off this top, which when it touches a $200 level like that, and I short off of this, not always the best sign in the world. Like it gives you like $1.50 or so, but in this stock, I mean, I want at least like $3 in the first leg and see if it can't pull back even further, because it was, obviously holding a trial is a big deal. And you want to see that go almost right away. This has not happened, guys. So watch out for that 200 break on.
Okay, here goes Clover. So we're on the bid right there. Let's get this out. Did we get filled there? We didn't get filled again. What is going on? I'm at 86. There we go. Am I filled now? Yes, there we go. Bang for Clover. So bring it. There it goes. Okay, the money's coming down now. We'll see what happens. I'm still on that level that Neil talked, what we both talked about. And again, guys, this is what we wrote down for Clover. If you're not on the sticky note, I don't know what you're on. Big break of 14. Watch 13.75. Okay, so that's why we just got it out right there. We'll take out that 15 cents on Clover, and then we'll wait to see what happens next. So I'm watching you, Clover. And then here goes Microsoft right to the upside. So bang, bang, bang. You like it so much. We hit it 3 times now to the upside, and we're breaking high now, man. Let's get some out. I mean, I'm putting offer here, 258.20. If we could get that, that's great. Actually, let's go at 258. If we could take $1.20 here on Softy, might as well do that, man. What a big day already for us. We're going to go 4 for 4 here, including AMD on the reload. So AMD buy again. Where I told you what levels we're protecting. We're going to look at that 81 and see if we get down here. So right now, AMD to the high side, Clover big time win, and Microsoft big time win. We happy so far, guys. And there's AMC. We just dipped into that one as well again. Wow, busy day, Brendo.
Not the first time this week we've seen analyst initiation or coverage beginning on a stock, lifting them. Today it's Vaxart, guys, up 22% here for VXRT. Monster volume on the relative side coming in. So VXRT ripping.
So I put the reverse on, and this is going to be pie in my face, because I asked Sean about having to pay for shorts in Clover. It breaks, I get out at that 1385 level, but you have to confirm it, so it's like 2 levels of security in there to make sure you actually want the short, and I did not confirm it, so it expired. So I didn't have them when I wanted it. It's actually consolidating off that bottom, so I was able to still get in off of that 85, and we got 81s. I can tell you VRTX, it's VRTX. Starting to slide over, guys, and I'm pulling the chart out so you can see how far it has to go. I'm looking for about $3 on that first little leg if we can catch it. And then if it gets into this cluster, you look at this 190 to 192. That's about the absolute target for me off that 200 break. So, yes, it's nicely in the money, a couple of bucks here, but I need a heck of a lot more than that. GME, GameStop, I know some of you guys are going to be watching this name. Bit of a wipeout. It wasn't down to 210 or 200. So the range is a little bit smaller here, but look at this top that it's now holding. This is setting up a little bit for it's a random price, like a 237 break off the top. Some bottom has been put in here in GameStop, at least for now. If you can't beat them, join them in Clover. That's what I've done. And of course, that AMST, no problem with that short.
Okay, so we'll just do, we'll try to go a little bit of diamond hands here, and it's not diamond hands because we're just scalping it out, but people like that for AMC. So let's wait to see, man. If we could take another 50-cent win on this, man, why the hell not? I think that's a good move. Stretch away, Valeria. It's Friday. It's going to be a good day today, that's for sure. For not wearing your Friday greens, but I like the kicks today, so shout out to Valeria's new shoes. Okay, 43.90 there. That's a good little spot. If we can get out here on the upside of AMC, we will do that, man. AMD, though, we already took out. Bang on the profits on this one, man. So the Wiz is back today. We're going to go 4 for 4 to start the day here. Clover, a big-time winner right now. All the way down to that 75 level. I think it may be foolish not to get out, but I'm just going to wait to see what happens. This is that level that we've talked about, and I said watch out for 1375. I'll put it up again, but maybe we can put it up, Ms. V, if you have it, the link to my sticky note, because it's hard to see it on here, but there's the call right there, Clover. Watch 14 break. Watch to see what happens at 1375. Okay, I watched it, and it went down. So there's a good call here for us on Clover, all the way to the downside. Man, did we call this one. We do have some bids. Oh, where's my bid anyways? Normally I'm bidding before 50. Yes, there I am. 1351. Sean, come on, man. Don't get too greedy. And there's Softy right now as well, man. Wow, this has been a monster day with Microsoft now back to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. Look at that bid on Microsoft, man. We told you about that price even before it hit. So there we go. Nice little move there. 25 cents AMD. 40 cents now Clover. $1.02 now for Microsoft. And AMC, we've already hit a nice little winner on that one. Let's see if we get our 42 reload downside now on AMC.
I haven't hit this one a lot. I forget what it looks like. Little bit of a mic drop on VRTX, 200. Look, this stock was at like about 188 bucks when we talked about this here, and it was like short in front of 200 or off of 200. Get this one right back into VWAP. Bang, we just get the $3 winner there, and now we're looking to that deeper move into that 190 to 192 cluster. So far, perfect on that name. Look, I told you I was going to take shots at 2 levels on Clover, 1 and 2. So we did get some scalp wins on both those longs, but the outs, 1 out, 2 outs, and then we wanted the short off 1385. I mean, it's kind of splitting hairs. I don't think it really matters. 85 or 75, they're both good, whether you wait for that quarter mark, which was definitely a bit of a bid. I'm like you, Sean, get some out in front of 1350, and now we're running to the south side only. GameStop, which is the other name that I wanted to make sure we're watching here. We're covering a bit of AMC. GameStop then immediately reverses. The second I say anything about it having a shot to break 237, immediate reversal. Like I said, it's got to be like 200, maybe 210 on GameStop. It's probably going to try to put in a lower high. I don't know if I want to be picking the bottoms on this name. It hasn't worked that well if you've been trading that. And AMST, this one doesn't really pose any problems here, but I did get more shares out of 370. So you have a couple of decent wins, 440 down to 415. We get more shares at 4, average price at about 410. Now we're getting a 50-cent win off of 360. If 350 breaks, it's already been a good trade, just getting even better.
Yeah, AMD, baby. We just text that out, too, as well. A nice little win. Look at this. Look at this AMD. Bang, bang, bang. We talked about loving that stock and loving those bottoms. Hope you guys took that with us. Now $1.20 in the money now for Microsoft. Let's see that 258.50 come through. Clover, bang on that one, man. We did this a little bit before, so we will drop the mic, and then we will say, oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
As Clover just continues to go down, man. This is everything that we've been giving you guys so far is hot, hot fire, man. Clover, 50 cents in the money. AMD, that 45 cents now in the money. The only problem, of course, as per usual here is my AMC. So let's just wait. We ticked that low bid. This is so far it's trading exactly the way we thought. Glad we took out this profit. We knew to do that. And then we talked about our plan of action, right? So it's coming into this 42 level. We could get stopped out here at 42, so there's no doubt about that. But, this is the price we want. So let's wait to see where we go. I may not even get out of this if it breaks through 42. It's been such a good day, but there's a big size there at 42, so I do expect it to break a little bit here.
Yeah, and that ORPH, by the way, of course, it's got a second halt in there. I'm going to go ahead and get some pay for shorts on this because, I said maybe it does get to this 20 to 25 area. I don't think it's halting like 10 times and getting to $75. I think if you think that is going to be the case, that's probably a little bit crazy. It's probably a lot crazy. That would be insane if it were to happen, but I want to be prepared for that 20 to 25 area anyways. I'm now actually starting to look over at AMC. GameStop's not at a level that I really like, but AMC, that 40 was a wipeout bottom, and then you look at this afternoon bottom at 42, so it does look a little bit better on a bounce. It just bounced off in here,
hell
so
yeah.
You can throw that 42 stop in. So I'm going to jump over to this one instead of going into GameStop because it's not at a price that I like. Brendan?
Callaway, guys. We saw this one in the pre-market. Callaway Golf Company set to be added to, I believe it's the S&P 400 mid-cap index, but popping up through this pre-market high 34 here, still down 2.5%. Yeah, the S&P 400 mid-cap. So a little bit of a move back to the upside here after the gap down, but volume decent for ELY.
All right, guys. Boom goes the dynamite, man. How cash money are these levels that we're giving you guys here? AMC, what a rebound there to the upside there. So we did take out a little bit there once it came right back in. We talked about that, but then now we're long 42.50. So there's another profit spot for us up to 43 and out at 43. So we still have that 42.50 long. Hey, look, man, now if it breaks, no problem, because we've already taken the profit out. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day. Part of the reasons, man, look at AMD now, cruising, Brendo, to the upside. Good calls on AMD. We've been buying, I can't even show you the daily chart, damn you. We've been buying this name in the low 70s. What a move back to the upside. You all know my NVIDIA call, right? 604. Who remembers that call? Say hell yeah on the chat if you remember my NVIDIA call at 604. Now it's at 709. I made this call 2 weeks ago, guys. 604 long, NVIDIA, 709. Microsoft, we made this call today. I talked about this with Mark Roberts. Big time move upside there. So there it goes. Now we're just laughing at Softy. Let's get out here, man. 258.25. We have that 258.50 in mind. So hey, there's been a big monster day. AMC a monster winner. AMD a monster winner. Clover and Softy. We're going to go quattros over here. 4 for 4 today. Let's just get this out and then watch what happens at 258.50 for Softy.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking for a bit of a reload potential on that VRTX if it does make a move. It looks like Clover's running out of, I don't want to say it's running out of steam, but it doesn't hold that 1350 area, and I just was able to get a bit of a reload here. Then you got to watch out for retaking that 85 to 14. That would be a bit of a bullish sign. So be careful on that Clover. You don't want to wipe out bottom and you're short off of it. AMC, I have not taken any profit yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that around 43. Brendo.
Another one having a nice day, extending gains from yesterday, guys. Square up 2%. Just took out 222 there on a volume spike. So you remember Square popped up right off the bat yesterday as well, but still in this consolidation on the daily chart for SQ.
I like Square. I just wonder, I don't know. I just wonder about some of the communications coming from them, Square lately. I didn't like that little talk about the wallet, and then they did it, they did it, and Jack Dorsey's tweeting stuff. We'll wait for Square, but I mean, I love Square. I'm huge long into Square. Just a matter of what to do now. There's Microsoft, so we're out of Microsoft right there. So we'll just go hell yeah on that play. So a big move, man. This is a 256.80 out 258.17. So top. I mean, if this is not a bottom to top move, I don't know. I mean, that is the very bottom. You're not even going to see a better print today on Microsoft, I hope. Anyways, nice little move to the upside there. And then there goes AMC, guys. Bang on that one. Oh, my God. We got another dollar winner on AMC.
Oh, my God.
Give it to us.
Oh my God, Sean, Zoom is another positive name. Stock is up around 2%.
Wow.
Any thoughts on Zoom, guys?
Wow. I mean, Zoom, look, man, wow, Zoom. I called Zoom again. You guys know Zoom. I called this one at 325. I looked back. I mean, just go back. If I'm not being honest, I'm not being honest, but I am. 325, we talked about Zoom. I love Zoom. I love DocuSign. A nice little move upside today. Look, man, I told you this story is not over with Zoom, and it just continues to go up. For me, I have to be invested in names, invested by the research, and I didn't do anything on Zoom today, so I'm going to pass on that, but I will put it in. We'll look at that for the after
You guys,
show.
if you're looking at Zoom, I mean, watch out for this MNDY because a couple of big companies were invested in them, and they had a monster open yesterday. So watch out in a similar tech space. Able to actually get a reload on that VRTX, by the way, and it looks like 200 is going to get tested pretty hard off that first time. It was exactly 200 that it turned. Remember, I don't like a stop exactly at that 200, so I want to give it a little bit of room to give a fake breakout, but you got to rinse and repeat this action. If it's going to give $2-3 wins, you want to make sure you get that profit in your back pocket, because when it loses, I'm going to lose like $2 to $3 on this trade, almost guaranteed, given I want to give it to that 201 mark. So you got to tread lightly with a name like this and make sure you're taking profit. I'll do again more aggressively in front of VWAP, probably around 196.80 to 197. Brendan?
Cruise line starting to go back through pre-market highs here. All three have now come out saying no change expected as far as reopening plans. CCL was the first one. Here goes RCL trying to test some of these levels. In fact, through 90. Still down on the day, but all three looking pretty positive, guys.
All right, everybody wants
yet.
this, so you're going to get it right now.
Money.
Okay, it's all the talk on the chat right now. You guys demanding the money spin now? Demanding Mellitus there? Demanding? Oh, I'm going to give it to you anyway, so who cares? There's the money sign. I'll take you guys' demands all the time. So there we go. And what's it for, man? Is it for Clover? Who knows? Is it for Softy? Who knows? Is that not a perfect out?
Money.
I mean, what are we doing here, guys? Lots of money coming through. Is AMD not a perfect out? No, we still have AMD. As AMD falls right back down, we should have took some out there. We're too busy counting that money on Microsoft and missed this opportunity. Sometimes playing to you guys does cost a little bit of money, but I'm pretty light on everything right now. It's been a little bit of a rough week. We haven't had a negative day this week, but just hasn't hit the levels that I'm used to. Today we are right back into form, going 4 for 4. And then there's Miss Valeria walking on that water herself. Nice little head action there. I don't know, it looks like your head's on a swivel there back and forth. But nice little AMD trade. We'll see if it gets back to VWAP and take out another piece.
Yeah, I'm going to rinse and repeat the action over here for some of my shorts. And of course, Clover, if you take it out once in front of 1350 and you're able to reload, I'm going to take out some again in front of 1350. You can keep going, rinsing and repeating. If it works, stick with it. That's the name of the game. There was a bounce. This is almost a perfect out, but I think it's going lower on AMST, to be honest with you. If it does break back above like 385, I'm going to hunt for a 4 to 415 short on a retracement play here. So I'm not done with AMST. It's just sliding down and holding low. So this one is getting absolutely woodshedded, and I'm just going to ride the party to that downside. GameStop, now I know I took AMC and then scalped a little bit out. GameStop made a similar bounce, so it looks like you could have had this one in GameStop. 237 would be that top. I know we're going to show you an opening range of 235. 237 on the pre-market level is where you got to be overly concerned with. CCL, as Brendan just mentioned, I mean, the cruise lines are making a bit of a push up. So I still actually have my offer sitting in above these quarters here, but this move as it slows down, I kind of want to play it by ear as it approaches that 30. At the open, I was willing to try and catch it popping to the upside and then get a bit of a retracement. Now I want to back off allow it move into that price area at 30 before I jump into that short trade. So you might see me catch it on the way down. You might see me catch it in front of 30 even at like 90 to 95. But I want to play this one a little bit by ear and look at that tape and see what happens when it gets there. Kind of a strong move up as it's consolidating right now at 75.
Guys, how about another favorite? I don't know, trying. Okay, AMC, I mean, one of my new favorite ones, and a big shout out to Rob, working the board and working our graphics, man. The AMC Ape Gang, let's go, guys. 90 cents now, still in the money as we go up to the upside and not even cashing this out. This isn't a horrible spot to cash out, man. We're $1.20 now in the money on this trade, and this is not a bad spot to get out. We've had some tops there, made some bottoms as well on those breaks, so let's watch out. 43.75. I am going to put an offer. I mean, we could break VWAP and come into this area. So let's go 44.40 or so as an offer here on AMC and hope that we don't get a little too greedy on this name. One of my top stocks, I mean, my top stock by far today is Mr. Softy, so that's been a good one. We are waiting to get out of that AMD. Very, very close. What? Oh, my God. 73 it went to? No, I couldn't have. No, because we're waiting at 70. Okay, I was going to say, how did we miss that? That wick didn't happen. We're waiting at 81.70, right at VWAP, right where it's at there. We're going to get out of some more AMD. As we're at the highest spot we've been at all day, man. It's been a successful day. Neil's crushing this as well today on some of those plays. Brendan has some bangers.
And VRTX is right at 200, so let's, it's position dependent. VRTX is back at 200, and Kevin, I saw your question there about Clover. I thought I threw this one out there and said, as I do this rinse and repeat, I usually try to get better prices, continuing downside. But if it doesn't make lower lows as well, you're starting to consolidate. At that point, if I'm going to add more shares, I got to back things up a little bit. So I'm going to move stop 14, not even giving this thing into VWAP, because I think if it breaks 14, you're probably testing some of those levels where I was getting out of that long in front of. So I'm probably going to go with a 14 quick out here. I still want to have tighter stops on Clover the way it's been trading. So I want a better price, which I just got. Instead of 75, now looking at that 80 range, and then 14 would be that initial stop. And like I said, that VRTX is testing 200, but I don't want my stop order right on the 200 level, like I was mentioning before. I want to let it break, hopefully fail breakout, and I can hang on to that short.
All right, so I just put my AMC order in because it's coming, guys. Here comes VWAP right now. Look where we're long. 42.51. Hopefully that can come to the upside as well, and we'll see some little movements here. We like it, AMC, but maybe 44. Maybe VWAP is a key there, but I'm just thinking that we can break through there. So that's sort of what I'm going with right there. I am a little nervous about this Clover. I mean, we did cash out already. We have a small piece left, and I'm looking at this VWAP. So just to let you guys know, we will be out of that if that goes. But right now, it's all hands on board. We're trying to go diamonds on this one with AMC and just see if it. Normally, I'd be out right there at 44. We'll see if we can get a little bit more upside at 44.30. But you know what? I'm going to change my mind, guys. We're going to go to $44 right now and just take the $1.50 on AMC. Hopefully that comes through, and you'll see me celebrate on the backside of Brendan with the happening now, or what is it? Yeah, happening now. Thumbs up. Let's go. So.
It is 10 o'clock, guys. Consumer sentiment index number just out, 86.4 versus 84.4. Let's have a look at North American markets here. We are positive, not huge moves, but 0.13 here you can see for the S&P, the Dow. Almost exactly the same there, 0.12 to the upside. Tech stocks trying to lead the composite NASDAQ up 0.2, about 0.1 for the 100. Russell, 0.6% for small caps today. Having a nice day here in Toronto. The TSX 0.27 to the upside. Quick clarification story we mentioned earlier in the week on Liquid Media. This is a share transaction of up to 1.25 million shares. There's some profit targets for this Filmocracy included in that, 66 million. So heads up on YVR if you're watching that. It's a all-share transaction of up to potentially 1.25 million. Couple things we were looking at in the pre-market if you joined us. Chewy, one of those, did give you a nice flush down to 75. All the way back, guys, to 78. It's testing those pre-market highs as we speak. So heads up on Chewy if you're looking long side. Snowflake was the other one. We're right here, right now, at that low from the aftermarket. We did get through it initially, but trying to bounce for Snowflake as well, guys.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this one out here. If I say the words line in the sand, next time I should just have a bid in front of said line in the sand. We talked about Chewy because the pre-market volume wasn't necessarily, and it usually isn't. And I was like, it really probably has to dip into that 75 before you really love it. And then just that's your line in the sand. So 75.44 is definitely going to qualify. Oh, where's my long? Oh, wait a minute, there isn't one. So it's good. Like, it's been a good morning. I'm not going to complain about it because we're up at the end of the day. You can't trade every name, but there's only one way we're likely to have this one, and it actually came to fruition, and we don't have it. So it is what it is. We'll move on here. That VRTX, and this is crazy. There is an iceberg order sitting at 200. So it is touched 200 like several times here. There's been some dark pool prints above, but no real actual break. So I actually got shares right at 200 because I saw it there. I'll take a few off on a 200 break just because the only reason I added to this was because of that iceberg, and then wait for the rest at 201. Because I'm now playing it at that even level, I'm going to go ahead and try to take some profit out for like a quick $1.50 scalp, and I shouldn't be looking a gift horse in the mouth. I should go ahead and just quickly do that there. So bit of an idea on the fly there when I noticed that 200 level just keeps on holding, and of course that's still chewy. But VRTX, if you don't know what an iceberg order is, that means it's showing like 100 shares. That one is 100 because of a board lot, and it's sitting at 200, and prints are going off for larger than that, and it is one order with 100 displayed, and then hundreds behind it, thousands behind it. Who knows? I just know that they couldn't break it, so I jumped into more shares. It's obviously going to be risk-wise like my biggest short because of the price swings this stock could put on.
Yep. Okay, I just want to talk about, what was the name? Oh, AMD. So just to give you guys a quick update here on AMD, it looks like we got out of that price. So that was a good little price for us to get out of our AMD shares there at that 70. We wait for that VWAP print, right? So we called that one, we got out, and then it fell back down. So I just want to give everyone a little bit of an update there on what we're doing with that print. We did get that 70. I mean, we told you we were there. We were actually upset because we thought we had missed it, and then it came right back up for us, and we did fill us there. So that was a good little print there for us on AMD. I mean, we're almost out of it all. So again, we can't hold everything forever, including we should have. And we talked about this. And again, tried to hold, normally my discipline gets me out there at 44. Unfortunately, I had those diamonds in my eyes again, and I don't know. I don't think these are diamond hand trades anymore, guys. We talked about that earlier with AMC, and I said yesterday that you saw it had a $5 range there. So when you have $1.50 in the money, you should probably take it, is my idea now. So whoopsies. So we will look for AMC to get back upside now. Put an order around here, man, 43.70, something like that, and see if we can get that back up. But right now we are falling back down on AMC, so hold your shares close and watch out because 42 is coming. This is not a big position, man. We've already emptied this out, but should have took profit. I mean, any mistake you make is a mistake because when you look at it's like what they say in basketball, right? When someone gets fouled and then they don't call it, and then the next thing is like, the guy gets a 3 or something, and they say ball don't lie. Well, I think that right now, guys, like price action don't lie in the stock market. That's for sure.
I'm sick to myself because I scalped it out. I was thinking VWAP here and then got completely distracted by that iceberg on VRTX and was like, got to work that 200 short, or the short in front of 200, and then missed that's an obvious out. I didn't take it either, Sean. If it breaks lower, I'm probably going to long 42.25 or so on AMC. So I want to buy the dip, but that's ridiculous. There's no way it's going to VWAP on a bounce. I'm not taking profit again. I'm with you, Sean. Brendo?
Another one to look at here, guys. Snapchat just popping up. I guess we're getting above some significant levels here on the daily chart. A number of positive analyst moves on this one today as well. 3% for Snapchat so far.
Yeah, buddy, it's about time that stock got off its relative you-know-what, but it is what it is. I want to come back to just a couple of names here because that ORPH has been absolutely gangbusters, and shout out to Greg. What a great long that was. It didn't have any locates, by the way, guys, so even if I wanted to play the halt down, I can't short it, so obviously I can't do it. But it didn't actually get to 20. The break was good. If you played off the first halt to the long side, congratulations. It looks like it might be coming all the way back down. You might want to have a quick look at that $10 range where it barcoded. That's about the only level you're going to find. And it's not to say that levels are going to be anything on this stock because they flat out might not be when it's making those kinds of moves and cannot stay open. That 237 break does come and give you a bit of a move here. Now, again, my focus at that particular time was on VRTX at 200. It was giving me a couple of $1.50 scalps there, and it's been my top stock today, so I did have to put my attention over to it because it is a big-time name. If it breaks 200, could be into some serious trouble. I want to make sure I get that out. I want to make sure my orders are good. Already a pullback here on GameStop. Now, I got long on AMC, but there is a chance that you get a secondary push at GameStop through 240. It was a failed break the first time. Sometimes it's the second time that's a charm, and you got some room. This is 250 here, the afternoon top. and just absolute flush. So, 240 to 240 to 250, not a bad little move here if GameStop has some juice in it. Brendo?
Just a heads up on this one. It's very thinly traded. I was just checking the float on this. Is about 80 million, I guess. Globe E Online Limited, GLBE, all-time highs here. Above $52, 20.5% today. But be careful. Volume's not the greatest, guys.
Okay, so I mean, FOMO is real. Teomir, yeah, I see that. Neo, a nice move. But this is the one, man. Like, I cannot believe that I did not put the order in for this. So we talked about Palantir early, right? We talked about it against Snowflake and what we were expecting. And, if Snowflake did have a bounce back or anything like that, you could see Snowflake does bounce back. And then there's this price right here, man. Well, I talked about this in the pre-market with you. I said, watch out, this 24.35 level. It breaks and it goes all the way up. It's only 30 cents, but with the amount of shares that you can trade on Palantir without too much risk, this is why. Maybe it's becoming a better day trade stock now. So we're going to watch Palantir. I don't want to take it on the break now upside. I think 2% is pretty generous into a NASDAQ up 0.12. But thank you guys for the team. And then also Scott H there. Shout out to Generation X. He talked about right here. So yeah, you're a member, Scott H. Okay, good. Palantir, see bang, bang, bangs, call options, flies, this and that. Thank you for that. And I just said, if you guys ever see anything, just DM me on Twitter. I mean, I get a lot of messages and I try to respond to them as much as I can. Sometimes I go stale for a bit, but I'm back. So watch out if you guys want to message me on anything. If you see any unusual action, let me know. I mean, call options, that's a public, that's domain. Like, that's not insider trading or anything like that. So you guys can definitely let me know if you see anything, on those kind of plays. So I do like watching call option. And then we did talk yesterday at the close, if you guys remember, that Ford would be back off that 15 level. This was another call for a swing play yesterday. We talked about Ford off 15. If you could have held it overnight, people always ask us, of course, on the 4 o'clock show, what are some possible swing plays? We gave you Ford, and I also gave you Wendy's. I hadn't even looked at Wendy's, so this could be horrible for me. What was it, 23? So again, today Wendy's flat. Here it is. So the call yesterday basically flat. So there it is. I thought Wendy's had a chance as well, but right now, if you were long into that, you had a little bump, but not much. So Wendy's right now back to sleep off of what was a wild earlier on in the week. Brendo.
If you remember, guys, MindMed changing CEOs. We were talking about that earlier. Barrow, this Robert Barrow, the new CEO, taking the place of J.R. Ron. MindMed having a nice day so far, 8.5%, guys. Volume coming into MNMD.
Hey, good for them there. And I want to come, I know you guys are trading cents. I haven't made a single trade in SENS. Now, it did break that 4, so the setup was there, below that $4. Tested off of 930, right off the open. Tests that little bit of a pop. So the setup we like is there. The level was there, but I was trading too many other names. Now it's coming back into VWAP after making a 370 bottom. If it rolls over here, I'm going to jump into some shares actually at this particular price if I can get it. We'll try. I'm just going to cross and get 88. So sitting on the offer at 89, that's stupid. I'll just actually cross the spread, get a starter here at 388. Now, there's a couple of levels you can work off. You can say VWAP is here at 90. I like to have a starter position, so I'm willing to add to this at least a couple of times, and probably 3x at least. And then think about that $4, and not necessarily 405, because I think if it takes that, you're going to the actual high of the day there, maybe even 420. So SENS, first short for me, probably should have had it at 4, but it was paying my attention, or getting my attention, and of course, since that VRTX, and there's a good reason why you do not look a gift horse in the mouth, because this stock, look at the grind of the upside. Look at the gap this thing had down when they canceled that drug. I said 200 would be at the top. Great short into VWAP, which I'm always going to take in that kind of a setup. We then reload, and then we were able to get a couple of times right at 199.95, 96, 95 half actually. It rounds up to 96. I got 199.95 half as my price, and I get a couple of legs out here, the 98s and then 98 half. I just want to show you guys for perspective. This could get crazy if it breaks 200. And I want to make sure I'm taking profit again in front of VWAP, and I still like that cluster down at 191 to 192. So I like to play these sometimes counter trend trades because the opportunity and the risk reward makes some sense to me. At ORPH, looks like it is indeed headed back down to $10. So when we caution you guys on these ridiculous halt plays, that if you're going to play the long break, if you don't, it's never bad taking profit too early on a stock that can't stay open for more than a minute or two once it gets going. We say it every single time with this, and this time it doesn't even get to that $20 level where I would say for sure you had to be selling in front of that. Got to 16, which that's a heck of a break from 10.50. It's a 50% move. Very difficult to catch the top on a play like this, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to sit here and be able to catch tops and bottoms all the time, guys. I mean, this play on Microsoft came right back upside, so that was a good one. We basically got the top and the bottom of Softy. That's not going to happen. Like, you can't just like sit here and, like Neil said, man, you can't sit here and pray that you're going to get the best prices or the best executions. So watch out for some of those plays, obviously, as we come through now. But Microsoft's coming up to that 258.50. So I like the break of 258.50. But we did get out on purpose, upside. We didn't want to hold for that break in case that's just the stop level. So we do have an order to go long here if Softy does take out that top level, which I do expect it to do. So let's wait to see what happens with Softy. AMC, man, we just keep on holding it. AMD, not doing anything. So right now, we've got to find some new names.
John, at the risk of sounding unpopular, I'm going to do something that no trader should ever do. I place the blame solely on Rob. I don't know. I want to blame somebody, not myself, for no shorts on Wish today.
Yeah, I blame Rob.
I don't know. The blame Rob is ridiculous. Blaming anybody but yourself for a mistake is. Whoops, my 15-minute has crashed. So look, this intraday charts will show you enough here. I had written down 11.15 because I just wanted to short off of that level, but I never got into position here. I guess CCL. Look, there's a lot of good trades today, and it's been a good day. But wow, Wish again now breaking $10. I don't know where the bottom's going to be honest with you guys, but you can kind of go back to where, before it got to the upside, you can kind of look at this cluster here, 975 or what, 750? Either way, not pretty once again for context logic. I feel a stock that we all believe in the short in is the one that we don't have in here today. If it does pop back into like 1025, maybe I can short off of this lower high. Outside of that, 975, 950, one of those two, got to play the trend at some point, that's for sure.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen? I didn't even realize their name was that context logic. Okay, Clover, we hold that. We didn't get out. Obviously, you still see us in that trade. So Clover right now a 25-cent win, and we'll just wait to see where it goes from here. But a good little spot, I think, for Clover now. We'll just see if it can retest 13.50 again. Not sure if that does come through or not, but that's Clover right now. A good hold. We talked about why we were holding it and where we were trying to hold that to, and that was VWAP. At that time, it was 14.20 or so. So that'll be my out if it does come through, 14.20 on Clove. So excited for that one. We'll see if it can come through. On the downside, I'm just looking for a break lower. So 13.40 or so break lower on Clover is a spot that I like. Other than that, man, Peloton today up to 110. That's not a horrible name. I don't know. I mean, they've had some issues. Obviously, we've talked about that. Sad what did happen. But Peloton just, I mean, I don't know if there was news today or not, but a big move up, way more aggressive than some of these other names. And I just wonder, like, is that CCL story, like this is Peloton right here, it needs to break above 113. We may even get that today. I just wonder if that COVID story with CCL is creating some action. I know Zoom was added. I mean, people asked about Zoom. I believe Brendan gave us the note there. Was RBC's top software pick, I guess, or part of them was Zoom. So Peloton to the upside. And the theory is just maybe some of these reopened stocks are getting hit a little bit, and then some of these stay-at-home stocks starting to go back up like a Zoom and like a Peloton today. So I don't know. Maybe COVID is rearing its ugly head again. I don't think so, but we'll wait to see. I'm no scientist.
And I just want to just say here, and guys, for those of you guys that trade a little bit early, we've had videos on trading pre-market and those kinds of things and what you can do. And a lot of times you don't get a better price than that. So I was just going to be tweeting this one out on PGen. And we went over the idea and the setup for this like time and time again. This is the reason why I say it for those of you that are looking and trading in the pre-market. And then this bottom at 8, which we were talking about real time. If I get a chance to play this one back to the upside here, I'll probably go for it. It's starting to look, it's still $8. It's starting to look like it wants to pop back into VWAP another time. I'll probably chase this one to like an 850 entry point. So it looks pretty good, at least for the time being. But if 8 goes, then PGen is probably going to be no moss for me on a pullback into VWAP. If it breaks 8 even, then comes back, it looks like it'll be like a secondary type of breakout play. AMC just gave you 42 like 70s again, but I was waiting down in front of 42 even, so a bit of pie in my face on AMC. And as I say it, this PGen continues to get absolutely flush. I love those gap up retracement type plays, guys. They can work out for you like gangbusters. Just make sure you always have an out. I told you guys I was getting into that send for the first time. I said, wanted to wait for a couple of entry points into here, so we get one at VWAP. I said I'd give it to like that 4. It got to like 397, then started to roll over. So if it got like 4 even, I probably would have caught some at 95. I was just not fast enough there. So I only had that first entry. I say it's every single time this happens to me, but it's true. If you try to get it on the way down from a level instead of catching it on the way up and jumping in front of the sword, you always mitigate risk that way, but you risk missing the position. That's always going to be the case. There's no such thing as a free lunch. That comes with risk management as well. You're always giving up some upside or giving up that early entry or giving up that best price if you want to limit the risk. Here in Sens, clearly that's happened to me.
Okay, so, all right. You guys know we're going to get excited here. I went to Neo, but then I said, you know what? Let's go over to Snowflake. Snowflake right now taking out that 240. We talked about this stock a couple times in the pre-market there, and it's, I don't know. Can it go red to green? We'll wait to see. I don't know. That would be a big move to get back up here. But we took a $17 winner last time on Snowflake, so I don't know if that's going to happen again. But we're going to give it back to this 238 level. If it breaks that, then we're out. I don't really want to have too much love for this name, but maybe we got to give it back to 236 here the more that I look at this thing. But we're going to try Snowflake one more time, see if it wants to break to the upside. We're long Snowflake, Clover, AMC now back into the money, $1. This thing just keeps bouncing around, Brendo.
RCON, oil and gas services company here. Recon Technologies coming off pretty hard. It's actually been halted once already. It looks like it might halt again down to 9. They actually announced they secured $5 million in new orders for an electric submersible cavity pump this morning, but this quickly reversed right off the open here, guys. 17 was the high, down to $9 for RCON.
Why not? Okay, that's anything that gives you halt plays, I'm going to be interested in here, guys. When it's to the downside, you do have to be a little bit more careful. Like when it's halting to the upside because it's just some crazy stock with crazy news here, guys, it's easier to maybe pick a top and it flushes. But when it's actual bad news, picking a bottom is a much more dangerous game. Although I would at least look at the idea here. Actually, you might have heard it under my breath. And by the way, the idea here would be around this cluster at $8. So if it gets down there and there's a bit of a downward hold, I think you could catch a bid. I just did that thing where you don't want to give up profits. And I could, once again, hit the look a gift horse in the mouth. But the last time it got to VWAP, I did not get out of AMC. This time I will do so. This allows me that if it comes right back to the price, when it bounced off 42, I got right back in at this cluster here. You can see that kind of little doji star. I got right into this cluster here at 68. It then came right back to that same price. You've got to have that. Got to have it. So this time I will go for it on AMC. Kind of ridiculous that I didn't have it last time. We'll go for it this time again. AMS Teeman, whatever. That stock is at 350. We had it 450 short, so 440 short. We got 395 short. Again in the money about that 10% move. But AMC gearing up for a 44 break. Reason I want to cover here, you can now buy the dip. You can now buy the 44 break. Lots of ways to get back in.
Yeah, exactly. AMC, we should have put an offer out there as well. We did not. We talked about that VWAP. It broke it, and then it tested there again, and then tested there again. So a good look on that one. Right now, I'm just a little invested here in Snowflake. The spread is like 50 cents, guys. So you got to be very, very specific with your prices. Like when this goes, this could go. I like this level 245 if we can get up there. I'm not going to put an order now, but we'll wait to see if Snowflake can get up there. And the reason why is that if it just rockets up, I'm just wondering if we do get maybe back. I don't know. We'll wait. I think this is one of those trades that we may be holding for a bit. But again, we don't have diamond hands on this one. If this breaks back down below, remember, it's negative, right? They came out with a report. They spoke yesterday. It's on our watch list. That is Snowflake. So just watch out here. It's not positive news. When they had the earnings call and we got the $17 winner, it's because it went down. And I was like, that report is way better than they're getting credit for. So I think that there was there was many more catalysts with Snowflake, in my opinion, on their earnings day. And you could see what we're talking about. This is where I love Snowflake down here, right? And now we're breaking upside. So let's see if that can go. This is going to be my home run play, sort of one of those, ones that you got to have on just to see where it goes. So we'll wait to see if Snowflake takes us to the moon here. Give it to us, Brendo.
Hey guys, time for a little look at small cap recap. We had another one. It's been a pretty good week as far as action in small cap world. Worth noting, this PTIX up in the pre-market. We were talking about it just before the open. If you joined us this morning, made this move yesterday into 350. 350 ended up being the top at the end of the day yesterday. It was a bit of a pivot here in the pre-market. The reason I was leaning on the long side of this versus shorting it was holding higher here all pre-market long. It tested 340, 345 a number of times and held, and then moved above that 350 and then held again. So really nice long opportunity off the open there from 350 up to 420, 425 at the top. It's pretty ironic. It ends up being one of the best trades that faded off, gave you a bigger move to the downside, but nice long opportunity initially for that one. GBS, the other one, $5 ended up being a resistance point in the pre-market, was just working off $5 down to about 424 right now for GBS. Another one to look at here, NOVN, we talked about it as well. I took the initial move. This is going to look kind of silly now, but I took the initial move long again off of 14 to 15. That's a dollar move right there. The initial move off of the open, then it runs up to 18 at the top for NOVN. So action both ways in small cap world today, guys. Back to you.
All right, yeah, so I was just looking here. We did get out of that clover as that breaks the bottom. So we got to cancel some of our trades here to make sure we don't get overfilled now on the long side of that one. We're still waiting for our AMC, and here goes Snowflake. So this is the name that we like, man. We talked about Snowflake and why we like it. So let's wait to see now. Now up in the money, $1 clean. So good trade, hopefully, for us here on Snowflake. A nice little runner, man. 240.12 we're long at. This is why I'm not putting any offers out. I want to see if this one has a chance to go. So here we go on Snowflake, guys. Hopefully this is going to give us what we need here on the downside or on the upside, SNO Flake right now, $1.50 in the money.
I mean, look, I was about to drop a snow line, but why not? If you guys know Informer, it's a pretty popular song. Good artist, but it's a little reggae. Anyways, Palantir, I see the super chat, guys. I mean, for me to talk about it, Nick W., yeah, it's at a bit of a level. Like, you can see a double, triple top here at 24.65. It's kind of random, but I look back and you go to the daily here. I kind of think 25 and 25 quarter is going to be where the real break is. Yeah, there's probably some scalp trades on the way up, and of course, my 15-minute, got to fix that one for you guys. Probably some scalp trades on the way up, but there is a level 60 cents higher on Palantir here that you have to be concerned with. And yes, MindMed just had a bit of a failed break at $4. So Brandon just brought you that news, and it took out $4. A couple of prints up here, and then it slides right back down. If it can hold like this pullback at 385, I think it's got maybe the juice to get through that $4 range. But we've seen that thing come back in on positive news before. I'm still hanging on for dear life in AMST. And it's really, look, I don't know what to say about this one. Sometimes it's about the setup more than the stock. This is the one that I got that 930 pop into a previous price level or VWAP, and it gave you the entry right here at 440. We scalped some out. We got the 4 even break. It's now at $3.36, guys. And it was a 277 stock. I'll definitely cover in front of 4. You get $1 on a move like this, or even close to it. The second short that you take, you got to be happy with that. So as it gets to $3, I'll definitely be taking that off the table. But it's about the setup with this one, guys.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Snow, I mean, it's just like how Vanilla Ice invented rap. This guy Snow from Toronto invented reggae. You can look it up. It's Snow. It's called Informer.
It's true.
It's true. It's very, very true. So Toronto. I mean, we just have so much love here. Okay. Now 243, 244. We talked about this being a good level here for Snowflake. So we'll wait to see. I mean, we might have missed it. I could take out the $2 here. This is my thing here. The futures are coming downside, and this is going upside. So if we do get a little bit of a change here in the futures, then maybe we may get even a bigger bump than this $2 win here on SNO. So SNOW. So we'll wait to see Snowflake. A reload here on AMD again as the futures come back down. We'll have to look at Microsoft soon too. But we did take an AMD reload here off of 81 bottom. So watch out if that 81 breaks, man. We're not going to hold on to that forever. So 81 breaks are going to be gone. We talked about why this was an early play for us on AMD. Remember, a lot of these plays aren't going to just continue to work over and over and over again. Coming into the day, it's going to have to make up its mind, right? The market could just tank here, and then some of these prices all of a sudden fregaze. Oh, yeah, on that note, shout out to Forza Azzurri, because today we kick off the Euro, which we are going to win, and it starts against Turkey today. So we'll watch that 2 p.m. our time. I'm going to have my phone watching that as Italy takes down Turkey easily today on their way to Euro Cup victory.
I'm not going to say anything because you know who I'm a fan of there, and they're not. Well, I'm not going to stand a chance. Euro 2020, people, happening finally actually happening here. Sometimes fortune smiles on you a second time. Now, Chewy did make that bit of a move. And yes, guys, I see that Akigen is making a big move to the downside, but I've kind of missed out on that one. Bouncing Chewy here. I thought if it tested 75 again, it would maybe bounce a little bit lower. Actually, at the even, 75.40, it looks like where it's holding. It's trying to get a bit of a bid above this 76. So if the level wants to be 75.40 for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and finally, did I just miss it? That was kind of funny. I just tried to cross into the stock and missed. So this time we'll actually hit the offer. I'll just cross into it here, guys. And I catch it on the way down. Thank you. Get a better price. 76.06. I'll use that bottom, that low of the day. Gives me 2 cracks at this. Obviously, it's tested this level 1 time. Well, 2 times here, and 75 even was level we like better. Clearly, the first time you had it would have been gangbusters. I got out of AMC, but did not get back in. The 2 ways that you can do this. This is how you know this is a dark pool wick. I'm sitting on the bid at 42.70. So when you get a wick down there, printing through my price, this is actually when I put the order in. That's that little circle that you see. So I put this order in here at 42.25, way back at 10, and then at 10.20 we put this order in. If it does print downside, I want to make sure I catch the bounce. Or a little dip buy, and then we still like that 44 breaks. That's another way we get back in AMC. But Chewy, long new position alert off the low of the day, and VRTX. Now it's been good, and I keep saying when you said it earlier, Sean, I was like position dependent, because VRTX is now consolidating off of that top. And I think everyone can see this setup here, and then maybe peel it back and look at the gap fill and say to yourself, oh my goodness, 200 break. Now, they canceled the trial here. That's why I'm on the short side of this trade. I want to play that rubber band bounce back action. I love the 200 level when I went up to the daily chart here and just saw this thing barcoding and bouncing off 200 over and over again. That's why we picked it, to be support turning into resistance. But if it goes, watch out. I'm giving it to about 201 instead of 200, but that could be a crazy break. And if it flushes, I think I'm going to finally get that $9, $10 move. It's just scaring a little bit here. That's why I'm continuing to scalp profits off on VRTX. Brendo?
Another tech name having second day in a row to the upside here. Adobe, I just noticed, it was up about 1% earlier, back above 540. But nice move yesterday for Adobe. Cohen coming out today, increasing their Q2 forecast for Adobe, guys. So individual tech names really showing strength so far.
And here's another one here, Snap. You already brought this to our attention earlier, Brendan. It's just been back. I don't know what's going on with this stock. Just back in, this is very much algorithmic trading here. Like upside, back down. Like look at what stock have you ever seen do this before? Honestly, it wants to go up and then it just keeps on pulling back. So is this a pullback right now on Snapchat? Let's see if it is, and just go long right now on Snapchat and see if we're can solve this algo. So there we go. We're going to go long on Snapchat, and then if this algo is true, then we should probably get back out at 90 right now. So there it is. So let's see if we can get that. We'll just play this like a glove there and almost take their 11 cents almost instantly. There it is. Did we get that? No, we didn't. We're waiting at 88. We almost just, we just called this right there. Hopefully we could get that 88 level, and then that will be that. And we just play it just like we thought we would. So let's see if Snapchat gives us this level. There it is. Bang! You can't. Wow, that, right there, guys, I think that takes a little bit of experience to be able to call something like that off this play down. So we'll see here if it breaks through 65, we'll also go long. Looks like the NASDAQ trying to go. Everything bouncing right now to the upside. AMD also trying to go, man. It just failed, though, there at 81.40. Let's get an order there.
Oh my goodness, that ORPH. So it bounces, this is ridiculous. It bounces close to that 10. It's now halted downside again. This thing cannot really catch a better bid here. It looks like it's gonna quickly be down below that $10. And if you didn't take profit, you really need to think about doing it, guys. I want to go back over to Sens. I did get that first leg in. It is still hovering, and I'm sitting at 395. It's still hovering at VWAP. I'm just going to go ahead and throw an order in here at that VWAP price. I mean, it's getting a little bit ridiculous, and I can't seem to get in to this stock. So I'm going to get really past. Oh, that was an instant fill. Oh, why? Because I paid for the fill. I put a BYX, paid for the fill, so we finally get that second leg. I got one more bullet that will fire in front of 3. Otherwise, SENS to the Southside trade. And I know it's a couple of bucks in the money, but I want more on VRTX. I've already scalped that thing off. I got to get that big win. I want at least 3, and then I want $8 to $10 on the last leg.
Booyah. Big call, big call. Okay, so we reverse it into Clover. We get most of it out there at 15. We talked about some of these levels before earlier. Clover just absolutely takes off. Thank God we got out of that. Clover is still a very positive stock, but now we're long. And I just thought the momentum there may have switched it. It stopped at 15. That's basically where we got out. 90s, 80, 89s, 90, 92, whatever those highs were there. But we did take that break off of this level right here. So we talked about this in the pre-market, this 1480 level that we kind of liked. So there it goes right up to 1480. Now let's see, it's just struggling about here. If we can get it, we do have some pre-market levels of 1520. I think that's a decent spot to get out again on Clover, but we do have an order back in the mid 90s just in case. We're also going to put one upside right now at 1520. So here it comes right back. Here we go. We're at 94. Did we get it? Did we get it? Yes, we did. There's another fill for us at 94 there on Clover. So, hey, another 13-cent win. Like, I'm going short and long on Clover. Here we go. Let's go, Clover. Let's see if we get to 1520. Another big winner over here. Clover. Brendan.
Just noticed some of the Chinese EV makers having quite a day here. It's actually XPeng that's leading. XPEV up 5%. Look at this daily chart. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. Just took out that high from that last, I guess it was 2 or 3 days ago. 40.35 was that prior high. So volume came in 5.5% for XPeng today. It's 10:30. Let's get a quick check on how things are shaping up over in Europe. 1 hour left over there. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, it's a positive day for European markets. French reinsurer SCOR is up more than 8% after its top shareholder Coveva agreed to an orderly exit from the company. Back to you.
Yeah, positive day across the pond, a positive day here to end off the week, guys.
All right, there goes Clover, guys. Like another one. Let's just hit the chicken dinner winner, man. One of our very first animations ever made for us. And there it is. Look at Clover. Bang, bang, bang. Like played this thing like a fiddle today, man. We talked about that 14 short, bang that off, and then bang to the upside again with a nice little right now 70-cent winner on board for Clover right now as that continues to march upside, man. We're holding on. We don't have diamond hands yet, but they feel like diamonds because we haven't got out of this trade in forever. We're still holding this one to see if we can't get going on this name. That is AMC. AMD, we just took out 15 cents. I'm not proud of that. I think we can go more on AMD for sure. So we're hoping that can get going there. But we did take some out off that bid. So, okay, we'll wait on that one. And then Snapchat has come back in a little bit. Whoops. We did take that 65 break. It only goes up to 07. So we're trying to see what's up with this barcoding, man. Another opportunity to get long now again on Snapchat. So, hey, let's just do that. I think this is probably a low bid. So we'll bid. There we go. So now we're long again. Let's see if it gets back upside. 65.05 to get out of this one. But yeah, we'll just see if we can't keep playing this back and forth here on Snapchat. I don't know what the game is, but I'm here to play it.
Yeah, and watch out. Wish making a bit of a bounce. Now, I'm going to look at Clover here because if it does a halt to the upside, I'm going to look for an entry point to possibly do a short if it does a bit of a halt.
80 cents.
Also, I'm going to go back to the same price. If it dips back in, it's going to be the pre-market levels that I like. But Wish just popped up. So, I mean, obviously, you're going to get a bit of a breakout in some of these names. That means AMC 44 is going to be in play, but Wish is now holding. And I got this VWAP. I'm like, thank goodness I didn't add to this position because you're seeing this big-time move up. And if they just broke 50s, I'm going to get out of the way of Wish and just quickly take a 25-cent hit. I like this short. We talked about 11.15. If this thing even sniffs the top, you know I'm going to try to have it there. But I don't want to sit there hanging on to this when I'm trying to play a bit of a turn play over in the bigger name, which is Clover.
What's up, Beep?
Brendan?
We were talking with Mark in the pre-market, if you joined us, about Biogen and some of the alternatives when it comes to Alzheimer's. Looks like this may be one, guys. Cassava Sciences just taking out that last high on the daily chart as well. Up there around 76 on huge volume came in right at that high. So 13% for SAVA.
All right, Cassava Science is a nice little mover there. We do like that. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's see if we just cheer on the ape one more time. We'll do that. If I can find it. Oh my God, I keep saying I'm going to clean it up. I will do that at some point. So Clover does extend all the way up, man, 1560. Just to look yesterday to see, was there any good levels yesterday on that move there? I know Neil was just talking about it. What is this? 50, yeah. So 1570, man. Damn it, we should have got out of there. Like, look at that. There's 1570 right there yesterday as tops, right? Here's today, 1570. So we're going to offer this and just get out right now on Clover. And this is a $1 winner for us. So yeah, diamond hands I consider on this one, man. A nice win here on Clover. Now $1. Now it just breaks that. So, okay, now we're holding, man. Clover to the, we didn't even have an offer to get out. Now Clover goes to the upside. Let's get out right now if we can. Maybe fit, and this is a good trade. So a nice little dollar winner on Clover. We flipped from the short to the long. That's how we do it over here.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy because that is that pre-market level that we're talking about here, which is why I think, look, if it doesn't break 16 on this move, that's where I think you're looking for your dip buy opportunity. And if it's off a level like that, you usually want to give it a little bit of room here, guys. So I think you're looking probably at this top here at 15.20 or 16 break. If 16 can go, then I'd be trying to take that break instead of that dip. But I still like the dip buy. I got plenty of bids in here in case it happens. The halt is the only thing that kind of concerns me here. You don't want in on a halt to the upside, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, no, agreed. Okay, so, but we just got out part there. We went along by accident up there through 16. So we'll have to fix that up. But here we go. Clover's still running. Here we go to the upside. Go. Yeah, I don't want to be part of this if it does halt. We did take a 16 long off of our sticky note, so I got to understand that. That's why that happened. I didn't even remember that we had an order out there. So let's put some more orders out for Clover as we just cash this in, man. Clover, all of a sudden, it's approaching Microsoft levels here. Let's go, Clover.
I would cover, if it looks like it's going to halt, I'm getting flat. If it looks like it's going to halt on any, this move already looks like it's pretty big, but it's not close to a halt. You need like a 10% move in a few minutes time. It doesn't mean it's going to happen here, but I want to be prepared for it just in case it does. This reversal, like if it breaks 75s, I want out because I'm hunting a dip buy still at that pre-market level.
Yeah, no, I'm with you here. I'm going to try to get out a little bit there if it goes back up to 16.20. Yo, shout out, man. Shout out. I mean, I know this is for us here, so thank you so much. Both Neil and I on Clover today. Where is it? There it is right there. Shout out to Eunice Yildirim. Thank you so much, man, for covering Clover. Yeah, no problem. We had that and we smoked it. I was going to say another word that's not good, but we did do that. And like, you know, Clover's giving me these vibes today, man. So far today has been one of these days. Let's go. Like, this is Friday. It's having some fun. That's our jam right now. Let's just keep going to the upside. I mean, the dude's doing something that we don't recommend anybody doing while trading, that's for sure. But right now, Clover to the upside. Nice little move. Let's see. I'm going to have next offer.
Do you, man?
Yeah, do you. I don't recommend it, man. Because I would mind altering. Yes. Like, if my mind is altered, then you can't get these wins, right? So let's wait to see. Although we could test that theory out, I guess.
I look at it, and again, I'm half kidding there, but I mean, everyone always has their own process for what works and what doesn't work for you, and I say stick to that, guys. You want to trade in a stand-up chair. If you have to wear the same pair of socks every single day, if it works for you, it works for you. That's kind of superstitious more than anything else. I just bought a quick dip off of 75 because I didn't tell you if it couldn't hold that level, I would get out and then hunt for a deeper move here, and it looks like it might not do that, so I'm going to throw a stop below that 75 at like 70 even, and if the reload doesn't want to give it to me, the bigger win, then we'll just get out of it. That did not break. Yeah, it did. Okay, there we go. Oh, my goodness, that's right. Because I had two orders. Whew, thank goodness. So you know that accidental? I had two stop orders. I kind of thought I didn't have one in there. So I end up in a short that I didn't necessarily want. So I just get out. I actually made a penny on that short, by the way. But if it now comes down to that dip price, it's this cluster that I like. So the longs that we had in the pre-market off that 85 first, so 70 to 85, we're getting out in front of 15.20. That's where I'd hunt. And it's kind of the bottom end of this pullback range, so 15.25 or so. That's where I would jam back into it. I'll go for this and DAPS because Clover's fantastic. I know Sean's all over it. I did get that fill on VRTX, so that's VRTX, not VTRX. VRTX gave me that fill, so another nice win on that one. Now my last entry was literally at $199.99. This is the one I won $8 to $10 on, but Clover is front of the mind on this move. And AMC is about to break 44, so that long break is in play here, guys. So watch out for AMC. Coming up right now, Sean.
Here we go, man. AMC, what a big move, man. You want to talk about this? Fire off the cannons right now as AMC. This is what these hands are all about, guys. You got to have them as it comes right back to the upside right now. AMC, $1.50 now in the money. We hold this, and we hold it for a while now. Today, this is one of my longest trades. I'm not going to look this gift horse, Neil, in the mouth here, and we'll see if we just get out right now of AMC. And there it is, man. Clear that out. It does exactly what we thought it would do. And there it is, man. We bookend that one. Hopefully you guys like that. We wait in the weeds for AMC, and then we just absolutely bang that. Marijuana one. Okay. We'll just do a backflips there. Timur, you like when we do the backflips. And there it is. A big win on AMC. The diamond hands prevail once again today. So let's just see if it keeps on going to the upside now. But good trade there on AMC. We take that $1.70. We put that in our pipe and we smoke that one, guys. Superman has re-entered the building. Give it to them, Brendan, over there with our sector watch.
Hey guys, yeah, 1040. Let's have a quick look at the overall S&P 500. Back to basically dead flat on the day. A lot of positive individual names kind of offsetting others to the downside. So we are actually dead flat as I speak here. Let's start with tech stocks here. Western Digital, I noticed another individual name kind of popping up, as we mentioned a few already. 3.5% to the upside. Over in the semiconductor group, it's actually NVIDIA there with a nice day, 1.7 to the upside. Micron down there, 0.7 to the upside as well. Software names pretty much entirely in positive territory. Look at the banks as well. Nice bounce back day for some of the banks, diversified insurance names and the individual banks all in positive territory. Not huge moves, but getting the job done at this point. Penn National, 1.7 here in the consumer services group to the upside. The cruise lines here, NCLH, RCL, CCL was here a second ago. I don't see it. Way down there in the corner. They are still negative, but as we said, kind of working their way back to the upside for the cruise lines. Yum Brands here, Domino's, McDonald's, all having nice days in positive territory. Look at Gap and KMX, both 3%. So some of the retailers starting to move back to the upside. Apparel makers as well in positive territory. Healthcare stocks are offsetting. We've been talking about VRTX all morning, 8% at this point. INCY, LOY, all in negative territory. Even Pfizer, 1.5% to the downside, offsetting. Far corner over there, consumer staple stocks also in negative territory, and the utilities group at the bottom as well in negative territory, helping to offset the rest of this. I mean, it looks very positive on the board, but overall the market dead flat, down 0.02%. Guys, back to you.
This looks like it could be a bit of a dip here. Now, I got AMC. I was trying to get more shares at AMC at 44.60, and now it's turning around here. You got to look back to this 43, like 25 cluster for a potential dip there. And the same thing's going to be true of, I just put in the chat, Clover. Looked like it was making its move downside. I like that 15.25 area to see if it has any kind of a bounce off that price. And of course, this is going to be happening. I said I would get out of Wish to hunt for a better price. It stalled out here at 10.65, and I wanted to catch it on the way down. Look, I could have held on to this 10.25, but I got run over like an idiot because I shouldn't have had that order out there. But I just took it out wherever it happened to be at the time. It's a 25-cent hit. We'll try to make some of that back. I want to work this short off of 11.15, but for now, it is 10.65 where the turn took place on Wish. And Clover's down at 15.45. AMC holding 44. That seems a little bit stronger on this pullback. Wish, I kind of think it could break VWAP and retest those lows. So I'm going to pop a bid down around 10.15. I mean, if I'm shorting one of these names, it's almost certainly going to be Wish. That's a guarantee.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Mistake right there. Unfortunately, guys, I put the wrong price for Snapchat. We meant to get out if it did break through 64.50 there. Oh, man, damn it. That's okay. Not a huge position, but we did think that we sort of solved a little bit of something there on Snapchat. Not solved it, but we did hit it pretty good there. And then it came back down. We did like the name, but unfortunately, right now, the NASDAQ doesn't like the name too much there. So we'll wait to see here as the NASDAQ falling back down, and so does Snap. But we're back into this area right now. We should have got out at 50, there's no doubt, and I'd like to, reload there. But again, I put in the wrong price, so that is what that is. If we get back above this, VWAP 64.33, I like it long. And now we're just going to play it back into 64. So we break back down below 64. Then, I mean, damn it, the NASDAQ just coming outside there. Neil spitting the money. Take it away.
I mean, look, Wish, man. I wish I was a little bit taller. I said it before. I used to play basketball. I was only okay at it, but whatever. So I'm not going to call myself a baller in that particular game. Not bad on a baseball diamond, I'll tell you that much. 10.15, it breaks VWAP. I'm not even trying to bid out at that price. I want this thing flushing. I want to get out closer to 10 even. Now if it pops again, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to short back in front of that 10.50 area. So I'm going to pop something in that 10.40 range. If it wants to give it to me in Wish, we will gladly take that. AMC talked about that dip buy action because it was holding up at VWAP. So I catch a dip at VWAP and not 44. I will scalp that one off at the 44 quarter mark if I can get it. So AMC dip buy looking good. I did not catch it on Clover yet because it's right at that 15.25 mark, but about to. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Just noticed J&J here to the downside, guys. 1% at this point, but kind of grinding lower back towards 165 for Johnson & Johnson. The FDA wrapping up that investigation into some of their vaccine doses that came out of that Baltimore facility. Looks like it resulted in about 60 million. So the FDA telling J&J to throw out about 60 million doses. If you remember, they found some paint particles, I think it was, going back a month or so ago in some of that vaccine. So Negative day here for J&J.
I'm not a rocket scientist, but I don't think you want paint particles in there. But anyways, we'll have to track that story. The dip buy is going to be a bit of the play here. We got that off of AMC. We scalped some out because we're always going to do that. I still have another order north side of 44.50. I want to stay with the trend as much as I can here. Clover has not really bounced off that quarters. I want to say yet, but if these moves reverse, I mean, AMC's at that VWAP price at 44 even. These moves reverse. I just looked right back to that cluster where resistance before. Can it be a bit of a bounce? And it looks like it's trying to do so here on Clover. So I got the quarters, 28, I mean, close enough. If you can get back into that 50 to 60 range, you take a little bit of a scalp profit out in front of there, and then see if you can't get those, as Sean likes to mention, those diamond hands. Hold on for that top play. Could it break 16 again? Maybe. It was a good break the first time if you just got that profit off to the quarter mark. Sometimes the second time's a charm. I would rather it break the high of the day. So I'm buying the dips. I will only take a breakout if it's the actual high of the day on AMC. And yes, you crip walking there, Rob, as he walks past me? I don't know if that's what it was. I still have VRTX, but guess what it finally did? Rolling over past VWAP. Now, it did stall out at 195.50 where I got this the first time. That's the best that I've been able to make on this stock, was catching that trade there. We did have top here at 200. That was the iceberg order we told you guys about. I know it's a negative. The stock's trending the upside, but it was negative news when they halted that study. Not good news for them. That's why we're playing the short on VRTX off that 200.
All right, so Snowflake breaks through. I mean, again, we thought we were waiting for 238 there. It does come through 239, and we get out. So Snowflake, that was, again, a $3 winner. We don't take it. I'm going to take the long again through 239. The thing is that this is how we trade, right? Like, if the NASDAQ's going to continue to go down, then there's absolutely no point to hold any of these stocks that you know are heavy names in stocks, in the tech index, right? So again, as the market gets pulled back in, even though we're only down 0.1, like, you got to make sure that you keep some of your profits. Like, I can't hold Snowflake all the way back down here, or else you're going to go red on the day, and that's not what's going to happen. And then Snapchat as well. This was just my fault, because we should have been out here 64.50. We didn't even notice that it didn't go through there, and now we're down $1 from that level. So unfortunately, we did get out there on a 64 break. So we talk about our winners and we talk about our losers. So let's just flush ourselves down the toilet here for Snapchat. It was pretty hot early, like in there, and then out right there as well. But then these last two positions cost us a little bit of our capital there on Snapchat, making it my worst stock of the day. So we only really have one loser. I mean, we only have two losers now, Snowflake and Snapchat. Everything else is in the money for us. And I do like this play. I think we'll be up on Snowflake at the end of the day, guys. I want to play this through 239. So we'll wait on that. Just a call. We'll see where it goes from here the rest of the day. But I don't mind Snowflake. And then Snapchat, again, I want to take this long if we break back above right here. So 63.90 will be a long in Snapchat. I just need the market to bounce back like it's trying to do right now, and then we'll get triggered into some of these positions, guys.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's always about the best trades being your winning trades. But if you remember when I was talking about Sens getting into, and of course I got stopped out. Look, I'm going to be paying attention to Clover and AMC when I got those on at the same time there. But it did break that 4, so we do get out of it at 4. But remember what we said when we shorted it up here. When we don't get that short, I'm not throwing my stop at 405. I'm stopping it at $4, because if it tests this level and breaks higher, I don't think 405 is going to matter. I think it's going to that pre-market high. And it touches that 415, breaks through, goes to 420, and pulls back. So sometimes this is why I give you the thought process here, that if it caught it the first time, I'm using that 405. The second time through, I never think it's as good. I like to tighten up my stop in that situation. AMC is now going, that's what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, sorry. I wanted to hit the key and apologize to hit the rocket before recognizing that I wasn't even on the right chart there. So apologies for keystroking on AMC. It finally gives me that 44.50. Now it's heading towards 45. Still a 46 and 46 quarter level at these pre-market levels and the opening range top. Those are berries to that upside, but the long looking fantastic. Clover, on the other hand, though, that reload is basically flat. I got 28. It's at 32 when AMC is bouncing off VWAP. So we got the break, doubled up here, and then we got the pullback as well. Like that 44, guys. We also like Brendan at the big screen for Money Talks, by the way.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's have a look at how things are shaping up. Pretty strong dollar to end off the week. DXY trying to hold that 90 level again. We've been talking about for a month or so, moving back towards, in fact, the top end of the range here, 90.5 for the dollar index. helping to move a lot of these to the downside today. The euro 0.5%, Canadian dollar 0.4%, back to 82.3 for the CAD. The British pound, same story, about 0.4, 141 and change. Everything else, same story. Turkish lira, about a full percent. New Zealand, Australia, pretty negative as well. Just Japanese yen and Swiss franc, they typically trade one and the same. Back to the upside again, about 0.5%. Not much going on down here in crypto land. 37.2 for Bitcoin, up 2%. Ethereum and Ripple holding on to small losses at this point, guys, to wrap up the week. Back to you.
You really hold on to a small loss? I don't know. Hold on to a small gain. Now, look, AMC's at 45, and I'll show you Clover over here because AMC looks great. Clover with this muted bounce. Now, the only reason I'm going to take some out here, you can probably tell, look at this cluster. When it bounces off this level, you do have a bit of a range at 1565. Oh, is that the previous pre-market high? Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and scalp a 20-cent win here when I can get it. And this way, if it tests back lower, I can jump back into the long. Remember these ones here off of that 1480 to 15 area. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. This is why you rinse and repeat. It allows you some more flexibility. If you like the overall move to the long side, I can make some money during the consolidation if there's a wide enough range. That's what it looks like is happening here in Clover, so I want to make sure that I'm taking advantage of it. I still got that wish. Oh my goodness, we just broke 45 in AMC, so the 44 break and the dip buy at 43.90, now $1.20 in the money. Those longs from the bottom are obviously even more in the money, Sean. And wish, this is why I like this one to the short side, to be honest with you guys. If you got to pick on one, AMC, bouncing, Clover, bouncing, wish, hanging out below VWAP. So I did get run over here, managed to make some of that money back with that first short, but I'm still holding, by the way. I want that 10 even. If it rolls over from VWAP, I'll probably have to consider that 10.25 again off that turn 35 level. But when I got in at this price, I should have had a 10.35, 10.40 stop to cover me. That's all on me. This is the area I was shorting in front of. By the time I got to it, I'm sitting there and getting out in front of 10.50. I could have just blindly said, I like shorts and wish. Let's average into it. That is not the way that I'm going to trade. Would it have worked? Yes. Is it a good decision? No.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You got to have your plans, guys. And the same thing here. Clover, we're still in this name. We're hoping that this can get back to 16 and change. So let's just see if that one's going to be a runner today. Congratulations, AMC continues to run up, man. That's a good stock for me today as well. AMD holds off that 81 level. No idea why we didn't have any bids down there. People asking about Snapchat. I don't know if this is going to come back. I may have to readjust a thought here. I just, the fact that it was up 3 or 4% today leads me to believe that there's some strength in the name, obviously. And then this pullback here in NASDAQ, led me to believe again that maybe this move back up would have sparked something here, but it didn't. So that's not, that's a little bit upsetting for Snapchat. It's fine. I'm still in it. I'm holding a very, very small spot on Snapchat. I'm only holding it so I can watch the trade here, but 63.65 maybe now on Snapchat. It needs to come back, man. If we could break this level right here, then I'm going to go long. So there's some people asking on the chat about where we thought Snapchat was headed. And I mean, it looks like it's headed down. So to answer your question there, but I think this is worth probably a little pickup here just because it was so strong already. This dropped down. Let's see if we pick up some Snapchat here and then we'll pick up some more at 63.65. So that's the plan of action right now for Snap.
Yeah, and the AMC just turned around a little bit here. We'll walk in a little bit of water as it comes down through 45. Now, as it broke 45, got through the quarter, I'm like, okay, let's trail it. And then when it broke 45, this is the 80s, guys. It slammed down pretty hard. I do want to see if I can't get back in front of VWAP if possible. So I know this is down here like 43.90. That's where we got the last long. I'll look to 44 even or so, somewhere in front of that range to get that little bit of a dip. If that's happening, you know that Clover, which was not necessarily, obviously it was strong on the move to the upside, but not necessarily pushing towards those highs as much so on that pullback, is likely to retest here. This is why we got some out, and this is why we want to test back in closer to that 15 range. So that's going to work, hopefully, in Clover is a good decision, whether it's mitigating risk or allowing me to make more money. That's what I want to do here. Well, that's what everyone wants to do. VRTX, this is it. I shouldn't say this is it. I probably just jinxed myself. 195, there was an iceberg on VRTX at 200. I couldn't break it. There is now this level here at 195. If this busts, then we can start thinking about that flush that we're looking for all morning long off that 200, but it's got to break that 195 buy. Just for some context, for those that are tuning in just now, this is what happened after market or at the close and after market in VRTX on our watch list because they halted the study. Downside is tremendous. That's why I'm holding on to this basically all morning long. I only wanted to short in front of 200 on a pop to the upside. It gave me those fills several times. Last one here at 199.99. That's actually a good price. It's like Price is Right.
Yeah, exactly. Love the Price is Right. Don't bid too high or your bid gets canceled. Okay, Snapchat, we did take a nice little long there, 29s. It does rip up to 52 there. So again, I like this long. I have no idea why it just keeps on getting stopped every single time. So that's a little bit of a worry to me. I thought we might have had it there. When 31, like I said, right away. I mean, it did go to 53, 54. So we did have a 20-cent win there. We're holding on for a little bit more as we believe this name can go. So we just took it there long. Average price now 74. So it's still not great, but I still like this break to happen. And I think that we can get out hopefully somewhere near view up and put us back to positive on the stock. So I think Snapchat might be one that we wind up holding. But remember, man, NASDAQ breaks lows, okay? Then you got to watch out and get out of a lot of your trades. So watch out to see what Snapchat does there on that break. We're still waiting for Clover. It's still not doing anything. We do have another bid low side here on AMD. In case that comes out right now, that's flat. It's in the money 3 cents. So who cares? But it's been a decent day, man. AMC good out there. We didn't have the exact hands that we wanted there. This, to me, I mean, this is why AMC is my number one stock today. Or Microsoft's my number one stock, but this is AMC number 2 because of this early trade here. Take it there. And again, you can't be afraid to trade AMC in the pre-market, obviously, because there's so much volume. So there it is there. Long 44 and out basically at the top of the day, 45.73. That was a great push, though. It almost got there again. And I think you got to reload your AMCs. We're going to go off the air in 3 minutes.
Holy crap.
But you got to reload your AMC if it comes down here, guys.
You said it. I was like, why am I looking at the National Day thing on one of my programs? Because I see it early, by the way, guys, so I can see on my big screen. I didn't realize it was already 11 o'clock. So, of course, don't forget about the afternoon is going to be gangbusters. Ending off this week, the way the AMC's been moving today, the way Clover's been moving today, the way, I mean, you're talking about the stupid VRTX stock, Wish making some moves. I think it's going to be a big one. And even the tech space moving with the NASDAQ going nuts. MindMed also had a big move and news on the day today. I mean, we're a little bit of everything over here, so it's been fantastic. This is a weird national day because our caterer gave this to us yesterday, Sean. So I guess maybe they did not get the memo from Ms. V. Let's find out what national day it is today. This is a tasty one.
Hey guys, thank you very much for spending this trading week with us. Welcome all the new members, all the new subscribers. Thank you for all the likes and support, guys. You are our main motivation and inspiration. We will see you at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and happy National Corn on the Cob Day, everyone.
Yeah.
Yep, corn on the cob day. Love some corn on the cob. The kids love corn on the cob. Everybody loves corn on the cob.
I would like to think so. There was a little too much butter on it. Like, trust me, like, it's hard to have too much butter on it, but believe me, there was a little too much butter on it yesterday. An absolutely delicious treat, of course. And I hope you guys enjoy some delicious treats for the rest of the day today. But you gotta come back. You gotta come back. We're not done. Power Hour is gonna be fantastic. It is that fastest 45 minutes. We're here at 3:15 till the close, making live trades. If this is any indication, you know what it's going to be like in the afternoon, and maybe some ideas for what looks strong going into that weekend. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, of course, because if you can't enjoy life in some of the tendies that you make here, or the money you make, I should say, then what's the point of doing any of this, guys? Shout out to Rob. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus. I'm not blaming my lack of making a trade on you. I was just trying to be funny about it. But for the entire team, because that's what we're doing here, down the line, there's Miss V. There's my man, Brennan Wickens. For myself, Neil Roberts, and Sean Katina with the trophy and the Trader TV Live t-shirt he has on today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you at the close.
Ciao, 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 ciao.